under pressure.
Oh, Bowie.
Somebody'll have to talk. Like.
You introduce.
All right.
How many times you introduce?
So, how am I introducing them?
Well, who are you?
Well, I'm Scott.
Welcome
Who are you?
Welcome to
Welcome to the Downturn Take
it's
7.
episode 7.
Episode 7, and it's Ladies' Night.
And it's feeling right. Oh, yes, it's ladies' night. Oh, what a night.
Oh, what a night.
So, we're not sexist anymore.
Not sexist to help ladies on the podcast.
Hashtag me too.
Me too.
There will be no Harvey Weinstein escapades
This
in the middle of
will
this.
probably come back to bite us in the arse, let's be honest.
You forced us to come on.
I did not force you to come on. You've been bitching to come on, Telf.
I have been forced to come on as against my will.
Oh, that makes us sound rapey.
You kinda are.
How? Is this anything remotely like rape?
Because I was told
I have
Saturday
stayed in
night
hotels.
You're doing a podcast. So
Too bad
here
we're
I
not
am.
doing Ted Bundy. That would have fit perfectly. Good God.
We never even got to pick it.
No, we didn't.
I had to watch
Well-
this film.
What do you mean you had to watch this film?
Well, we always
We
watch
had
film
to.
too.
You could have just not done your homework.
I mean, to be fair, you usually sleep through them all.
Yeah, but I thought
What
I
was your
can't come on the podcast.
what's
yet
your
while I
review of this
slept
one?
through. It was too long. I
I
could have
slept.
had a nap.
It was a long sleep.
I could have had a nap during that.
You did have a nap during
The
this.
first time, the second time I watched it all.
Save it to the end. Scott, introduce them.
We have, well, I was going to say to my left, but you won't see this, so it doesn't really matter. But anyway, to my left, we've got Megan, the lovely
Hello.
Megan. And to my right, again, we have my lovely wife, Hayley.
Hello.
Lovely wife.
I know, she got a really nice
Pro.
intro, and then you're just sitting there like,
I said the
yeah.
lovely Megan.
You're alright.
Oh, you mean from Mark?
You're
Ah,
alright.
like my other half's just like, I
We know you're getting started.
Megan's alright, but I wouldn't have got a Carlisle.
everyone to Carlisle. Oh.
See, you've just said that, but nobody's going to understand it.
That's apparently there's a hotel in Carlisle that you can book for just a couple of hours for a tenner to go and do and ride in, basically.
No, a bull.
We don't
you
have
mean with
we
people.
don't have all the details yet. It's not happened yet, but we're all very excited.
Episode 8.
Megan's going to fill us in with that one. We
I
cannot
haven't
wait.
been though. Just so you know where we are. I have not been.
So welcome to the Downturn Take 7, and after this, wife swapping. Tonight we're going to be reviewing Zodiac, the 2007 film. Not going to lie, Mark's got all the notes on this one.
Literally.
9 pages.
9 pages of notes. She's going to be taking the lead.
I'm sweating.
I have an interesting fact, and Megan has 5 bullet points. Hayley, nothing.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
When the one with the most annoying voice is the one holding this together, that you can't put much on me.
Oh, you're not meaning Hayley?
Not me! I'm the one with the pages of notes. Again.
But to be fair, right, we watched it on... What night did we watch
We
it?
watched it over 3 nights because it's quite a long film.
Yeah, and I get a bit tired.
My bedtime is 9 o'clock, so
So's mine, but I had to stay up for it.
well, see, Megan,
Sunday,
you're just not strong
Megan?
enough to say no.
You watched it through the day.
I've got bedtime on a Sunday too.
Yeah, but through
Oh,
the
do you
day.
not just stay up every Sunday?
I've been up every night this week, sweating until 3 in the morning, shouting at the TV, shouting at documentaries, shouting at the book.
To be fair, though, I was trying not to go into that because I want it just to be about the film. We're reviewing the film. Do you know what I mean? It's like a total rabbit hole if you
I've
get
done-
into the other theories.
I've done alright.
So
Aye.
my 5 facts can just go right in the bin.
No.
No,
No,
that's
I
interesting.
think they're to the film, though, are they not?
Maced them.
Nah, don't tell me because I'm wanting a surprise with your
Aye.
facts, Megan. So
See what our homework's been like.
I've looked over them.
It's been good.
They're okay. They're pretty good.
Not
I've
gonna lie,
got
I
a wee
did
bit
the
of info
journey
about the
here.
film.
Mm-hmm.
Since we review shit films, to be honest, I've got this one. It was made in 2007, nominated for several awards. There was a lot of awards it was nominated for. So many, in fact, that I could not be arsed writing them down. It won 2 though. Didn't look like brilliant awards though. Wasn't like a Oscar or anything.
Was nominated for things, but it's in a lot of end of decade best film, top
Yeah.
3 films. It was well received.
Aye, it cost $65 million to make, which to me was quite shocking. Because I'm thinking, I mean, I know it was a long film and stuff, but I'm thinking $65 million. Where the fuck did they spend $65 million?
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, but wait, I'll get to that point, right? It made $84 million at the box office, I think, which is
84.8.
quite a good haul.
But then that's not including DVD rentals.
Aye, that's what I mean. That's just at the box office.
Yeah, we went our DVD rentals with Hot Rod, and that's like 24 million just for that. So,
Yeah. So I mean, this one's obviously been a commercial success. But the thing that got me, as I say, was the $65 million budget. Then I read a fact about it that trees were helicoptered in to Lake Berryessa, I think it is called, due to changes in the area, and David Fincher wanted it to resemble the murder site accurately.
Good director.
That's where the $65 million
Good
went.
director doesn't let anything get in the road.
Brilliant. That's what you want, innit? Someone who's going to fly in trees to make the murder scene look accurate.
I hope Megan's doing that for my Christmas this year. Flying some trees.
Yeah, but surely they're not that expensive.
What,
To fly them in?
helicopter in trees to a lake?
I know millions.
It'll
Few
add up.
grand
I'm not being
tops.
funny, right? If you came to me and you're like, oh, I want this murder scene to look accurate, I need a tree like this, how much is it going to cost to get there? I would take the piss. I'd be like, that'll be about like $3 million.
Quite
Nah.
heavy, like.
Aye, but
Depends
you
how
say
big the trees are.
thousands, no millions.
No, but like a Chinook helicopter or something.
Depends how many was there, like.
I didn't get an exact number of trees.
We should get the receipt from David Fincher.
I would like to see the invoices for this film. See what they spent the money on. I think production was probably quite a lot, because I think they had to cut it down as well. Was it not originally 3 hours long?
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Jesus.
Aye.
Aye, wasn't it like 240?
200.
240?
2 hours
Yeah, but I think
43
they
minutes.
cut.
So they
like
cut 20 minutes
out.
It was
off
3
it.
hours 2 minutes at one point,
Yeah.
and then David Fincher, there was scenes they cut out. There's a
Maybe so
scene
just
where
left the 20 minutes on.
I can't remember why. He kind of had demands, didn't he? Like he was going to do the film, but if he did, it was to his way or no way kind of thing.
he wants everything to be his
Creative
way.
control.
Well, David Fincher's a good director. He's done good films, but he wants it done authentically, which
Yeah.
a lot of films didn't do.
That's why you helicopter in the odd tree here and there.
Aye, this is true. I mean, if he'd had more notice, he could have planned them, but he needed 20, 30 years.
To be fair, I mean, surely a helicopter is quite an expensive way to do it. Surely you could have got a lorry to bring that.
Well, it depends where you're flying them for.
Well,
Maybe a
yeah,
certain
but I
type.
imagine the surrounding area has similar trees.
Do you want to get Yellow Pages out and see how much a helicopter rental is?
I wonder how much a helicopter. Well, not technically a helicopter rental, though, would it? As you said, it would be a Chinook.
Aye, so Army.
So will we phone up the range and see what they say?
Megan should know.
Aye, come on, Megan.
Range.
Why would
Do
you
you not know where
know?
the range is? It's like the MOD bit of Kirkcudbright.
No, she's thinking the shop in Dumfries.
I'm thinking
Oh,
like
right.
range.
I thought you got plates from there.
Oh, can you just give Donnell Miller a phone?
The range to me is the range in Dumfries.
Well, you're wrong.
See, I caught that in one, didn't I? But to be fair, I did think the same thing when you said it. But hey, no. But the thing is, it does look authentic to the time. To what I can see, you can usually see
I wasn't there.
discrepancies. No, but when you think about it,
Nah, I did it. It looked pretty good to be
from
honest.
a layman like eyes, I
Yeah.
thought you're.
I enjoyed
sticking
the film. I
time.
thought it was a really good film.
It was a really good film. It is really long. I would admit
It's a long film, but
Aye.
the thing is, because
over a couple of nights though, it was alright. It was.
a couple of nights, it was 3
It
nights.
was 3
Three.
nights.
The thing is, though, I think
I was
we
very
watched it in
tired.
like
I'm pregnant.
we watched it in like sections, though, didn't we? And it was like
Yeah, it's
you
like
can
an
kinda
hour.
You can kind of split the film. It's like the murder scenes, and then it's
Oh
like
wait! You're gonna give it away?
No, but he's not
no,
going
no,
to
I'm
go
not
into
giving
it.
Alright,
away
okay.
anything yet. It's like the murder scenes is like the kind of first hour. Then it's like a wee bit of investigation work and the kind of like the story behind the actual killer himself. And then the last thing, like the last hour is, I'm saying last hour, last 40 minutes is like the kind of trying to solve the mystery of who did it. Do you know what I mean? So we watched it in 3 sections, and I think watching it like that made it like pretty
It
good.
wasn't. No, it wasn't as bad. Like it was. It wasn't like you watched it all in one. It was a long time. Like, but I mean, we just couldn't stay up. Well,
Yeah,
It's
I
not
think
that,
I've
it's
got
like-
issues because I only like the first hour.
That's because you're sadistic and like death.
So I just like folk being killed.
well,
Why
see, I
did-
found, I found that quite scary.
She
Oh.
wanted to see
Oh,
it from
no.
the killer's point of view.
I want to see what the killer
Hayley,
thought, but obviously can't.
Haley was struggling to get to sleep the first night after it. Like
Oh, was a hell.
she was really freaked out as well when I told her that the Zodiac killer moved from Southern California to Castle Douglas.
Well, I
And-
thought he was still alive, but apparently he's dead.
Who's the Zodiac killer?
Yeah.
He was like 60s though, so you would assume he's dead.
You
could
can
be
live till
alive.
like you're 100.
He's not going to be killing folk at 100 though, is he?
Well,
I think I'm going to outrun
don't
You
it.
know.
can retire, but you can still be alive.
Yeah, but I think I'm going to outrun if a 100-year-old tries to like kill me, I think I could take him.
I bet you might stop.
He might have a gun, but at that age, he's going to be all shaky and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Not necessarily, Scott.
I think I could dodge that.
You know,
bullet.
see the granny in Russia who was a cannibal, who was killing their neighbours and that, would get them in and just poison them and then cut them up and eat them.
Yeah,
To
she
be
put them
fair,
in
if
a
Just
stew.
someone, if 100, yeah, but I mean, the Zodiac killer wasn't poisoning folk. To be fair, was
You know what her name was? The Grinning Granny.
brilliant.
That's class. We'll do that someday.
The grinning granny.
Aye.
That's great.
It's good.
I've never heard of this. What's this?
I heard about it. There's another podcast called Serial Killers.
Is there?
And it's good. It's quite... They don't sound like real people in it, but the stories are good. And the day, like, we...
What do you mean? Is it like Stephen Hawking?
Like, it sounds like the guy's a robot, but he's just an actor that's reading it.
Oh, right.
You know, they get actors in to reenact it. And then
Maybe we
they-
should do that.
Who?
Do you think we're famous enough to do that now?
No.
I mean, we've got our own troll.
Forget it.
Oh, well, you say a troll. What was the story?
Big J Peep Peep.
Shout it.
He what annoyed me with him, right? I'm saying annoyed. It's funny to me, like. But he had his comment on, and it was like, "What droll pish is this?" Question mark with like the little sleeping emoji.
Mm.
And he's right, but he edited it to question marks.
Yeah, poor show. Stick to it.
You were right on the money the first time, mate.
Aye.
What are you doing?
I'm not in. See, you call me troll. I'd say he's correct. But
Well, yeah, I mean, I hope he becomes our Dickie Anderson.
oh, Dickie. Now, should you explain Dickie Anderson?
If you don't know who Richard Anderson is, he was on the XFM shows with Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
He used to phone in and just give them abuse.
And it
But
became
it
a
was
running gag.
It was brilliant.
Aye, and he was spot on,
He was totally spot on.
and they loved him for it.
Aye,
So JJ,
and
big
I
shout
like
out.
him for calling us out on the shite that we put out.
Aye, let us know if you dare listen again.
I'm gonna comment. I'm gonna reply to your comment on YouTube and tell you you've got a shout out.
Be
By the way,
nice.
though, but if I was gonna go and comment on someone's YouTube and slag them off, I maybe wouldn't have a little girl dancing on my YouTube page.
It could be his daughter.
Could be your daughter, but I don't think it is.
How do you know? You're
It's-
making mere assumptions.
It's
We
just a
didn't
bit.
watch it,
just
but
a
we
bit
just
of a
saw the
creepy
girl.
video.
Aye, Hayley and the well, look, we didn't actually, you know.
Not that I'm calling you a paedophile, because that would be slanderous. I'm not saying that.
You are.
Allegedly.
I've got a lot of I've got a lot of time from, and be nice. Be nice.
I wasn't slagging him. I think it's funny.
Because I'm not a big fan of this 3-star twist, either 5 or 1.
Aye.
Right?
So
I
exactly.
want it
I've
to-
just thought though,
What?
what if he's the Zodiac?
Oh, wait.
Oh,
Oh,
plot twist.
you have just slagged off the Zodiac.
I'm alright with it. He's 100. I'll run away.
I will not say-
Unless he poisons me like the grinning granny.
Oh, Christ. I'm really scared. I'm sweating even more. I've had to shower researching this.
So that's pretty much my notes done.
Oh,
Right,
I've
come on,
got
Mark.
more. I've
Come on,
got more.
Mark.
Right,
I think it's
so-
about time Mark hit us with some facts for the film.
pretty much universally praised by critics, reasonably well at the box office. Some folk think it's too long, some folk enjoy it,
Megan.
some folk think it's great. It's a pretty good film. IMDb 7.7 out of 10, Rotten Tomatoes 90%, Metacritic 78, much higher than any film we've ever done.
To be fair, this is pretty highbrow for us.
It's pretty highbrow, but it's good. And it's based on the 1986 book by Robert Graysmith, who Jake Gyllenhaal plays in this film. Jake Gyllenhaal also in Donnie Darko and Big Brokeback Mountain.
Now, we're pretty shit at names. Is it Gyllenhaal or is it Gyllenhaal?
I can't say Isla, but I can say Gyllenhaal.
Well, it was Isla.
Well,
But-
still can't say
Is
it.
it
can I?
Gyllenhaal? Because me and Matt had this conversation
No,
at
Jake
work the other day.
Gyllenhaal.
Is it definitely Gyllenhaal?
Yeah, this week
Because
actually.
we were like, I was like, is it Gyllenhaal or Gyllenhaal? I don't know how to say it legitimately this time.
Gyllenhaal is how I've heard it said in interviews and things.
Right, so they're probably right.
Probably, but I mean, if you want to get into this, we talked about David Fincher, the director, as well.
Mention them.
Great director. He's done The Social Network, the really underrated Alien 3. I think Alien 3 is brilliant, and apparently it's slated, but I think it's really good. Fourthion's terrible. 3's pretty good.
I think it was alright, wasn't it?
Aye, it's pretty good. Fight Club.
Oh, brilliant.
Interesting fact about Fight Club that I didn't know. Every scene in Fight Club, apparently, there's a Starbucks coffee in the background.
Why is that an interesting fact?
Well, it's not interesting, but it's a fact.
Because Starbucks
Alright.
is amazing.
Starbucks sucks.
I hate Starbucks.
Their
But
coffee's disgusting.
if you want to pay his money,
Ah, but
though,
their
we'll
hot
say you're
chocolate's
good.
really good.
Aye, I mean, if you want me to advertise your coffee, Starbucks, I 100% will. Your coffee's shit, though.
But also with David Fincher, right now he's actually not done a film in a while because he's doing the Netflix show Mindhunter, which I've watched the first series at and is absolutely brilliant. I actually got the book for it not long ago. Not had the chance to read it. Really
Don't.
good. And also wee thing for us in here, Chief, because we're big fans. He was also the director of Nine Inch Nails' music video for Only.
Oh.
A big Scott favourite.
Oh, brilliant tune. That's a fucking brilliant video as well.
If you don't know Nine Inch Nails, go and have a listen. Tell us what you think.
And listen to Only.
Oh, Only's great.
Absolute banger of a tune.
Also in this, we've got Mark Ruffalo, who's playing David Tosche, who's a really famous cop in real life, actually. The film Dirty Harry and the film Bullet with Steve McQueen are based on him. The cops are based on him. He's also been in Collateral, which is a hell of a good film if you've never seen that. Jamie Foxx and Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Great film. And is currently Hulk in Avengers. We've also got big Robert Downey Jr. Now, do you want to tell the story about before we did this? And there was a guy... There was a thing on Facebook that says, "What is the worst film you've ever seen?"
Oh yeah,
Tell
it
us
was.
about
Yeah, it was like a comment the worst film you've ever seen kind of thing. So I thought, hey, there's a good idea for the podcast. I'll go in and steal some film ideas. Someone put Zodiac, so I tagged Mark in it. I think he put Zodiac, worst lot of shit I've ever seen or something like that. So I tagged Mark in it with a kind of wee laughing face. And Mark, well, I can't remember what you said though.
Well, he said, what was his interpretation of the film?
It was like it was too long-winded and you didn't find out who did it in the end. It's like, that's what fucking happened.
Aye, well, my thing was, this is what really happened, plus Robert Downey Jr.'s in it, 10 on 10.
Yeah.
You know, but aye, so there's a wee fact. But Robert Downey Jr., this was him just coming back for his big rehab stint. Because he got caught in Las Vegas with 2 suitcases full of coke with 2 hookers in his arm.
He was got
So-
Carlisle.
He was going to Carlisle, was he?
He was heading to Carlisle.
That's pretty good. But he plays Paul Avery, and he's also in Iron Man and Chaplin.
Pretty handsome man, by all accounts.
Yeah.
Although, not in this film. Well, at the end he wasn't. Looked pretty good at the start.
He gets rough as the film
Yeah,
goes
he
on.
gets rough.
That's how I see myself going.
That's kind of how I am going.
But they're the 3 main characters. There's other characters, I'll maybe get into them as it goes, see if I can be bothered. But they're the 3 main characters. If you bought a DVD, these are the 3 names, big names. Robert Downey Jr., this is kind of one of his first big. He's also this and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang with Val Kilmer, kind of got him back in there.
I've not seen
Really
that.
good film.
Not seen that.
Really, really good. Aye, really, really good. But anyway, so that's my kind of synopsis. So, are we going into it?
Are we bailing into plot?
Let's
Are
go.
we cracking this case? I've got my Sherlock Holmes cap on, my big jacket. I'm sweating. I'm ready to do this.
He's got one of
Yeah,
them.
what are you on about? You
corncorb
got
pipe.
fucking Christmas t-shirt.
No, I'm actually.
Mark's wearing a Christmas t-shirt.
I've got a Star Wars Christmas t-shirt on.
It's the 24th of March.
It says Merry Sithmas.
Like that.
Merry Syphilis.
Well, we're gonna have this conversation later, Scott. We promise not in the podcast. Okay, so
Well, I've got my specs on, so I mean business.
I'm wearing my glasses, but that's because I struggle to see.
And we're all in the living room.
We're in the living room tonight. We've moved up in the world.
Megan's got 5 facts. We've got Megan. Haley's holding our microphone. We're ready to go. Let's crack this mother.
Aye, but I have to chill. I have to sit back.
You chill while I lose my mind.
I'm
Yep.
just going to drop my facts in when they're ready.
Aye.
See, I thought you meant you were going to drop the microphone once you've just done it. Just
I
like,
might do a
boom.
And
mic
the
drop
killer, and the
later.
killer was boom.
I might solve this case. You never know.
Somebody's putting their microphone. Looking at you, Tel.
That's probably me.
Listen, it's all
Could have
good.
been me.
Calm yourself.
See, because I'm such a professional outfit as well, I'm totally not even editing that.
Oh well, hey, what can you do? That's realism. That's what David Fincher would want,
Exactly.
right? Okay, so opening film, couple in a car. It's July 4th, 1969.
Tell you what, did look like a good party they were having.
It did, aye.
Oh, is this on July 4th? I've been.
Really?
I think I've been there for. I've been in America for July the 4th.
Amazing.
Good fun.
Everyone
A
go.
lot of explosions.
I like it.
Nice, I'll have to try it. So Darlene Ferrin and Mike Maggiel take their car, they stop at the burger joint and think, nah, let's just keep going. They go to a Lover's Lane area, car pulls away, they sit, they start going. Now, it shows them just talking and maybe getting a bit sexy. In real life, I've heard there's a bit of, like, when you read the book, it's more about finger popping.
He was fingering her.
And, you know, couples
Don't
do
know
what couples do.
how they would have got away with that in a film. Him being knuckle deep.
Apparently there are films that have this.
Is
Aye,
that-
but she's
Aye, those
married.
Blue movies.
Yeah, I was going to say that
She's
there's
married.
cheating.
Yeah. That's the. It's
That's
like,
why
is
they
that
go
your
to this
husband?
wee bit. Yeah.
Because a car pulls up behind them, and he goes, "Is this your husband?" And
But apparently she was fond of the young boys.
Well, I tell you what, they were very young in real life. This couple, they were actually Mike Maggiel was 19 and Darlene Ferrin was 22.
Really?
Yep.
God.
Well, that's nothing. They get younger than that. You find out later. But so there they are. The car pulls away, and then they start getting a bit more sexy, a bit more amorous. So, hello, darling, how are you?
Knuckle deep.
Knuckle deep. But you don't see that in the film. Rightfully so. We didn't need another R-rated movie.
I know, this is me confusing fact with fiction again.
But the car comes back, pulls up behind them. They start to have a wee panic. It's sort of insinuated that she might know, is this her husband? Is this someone else? Is this someone they know? But they recognise the car from the diner.
Yes,
So
he recognises
they
the
kind
car,
of
doesn't
know
he?
they kind of go, oh, what's going on? So they pull up, there's a guy with a flashlight. You obviously don't see who he is. Comes out with a flashlight, scans to the driver's side door with Mike Maggio, shines at his face. He then goes...
It's actually not, because it's America, it's the other side.
Oh, true. So, passenger side. Very well done.
Yeah,
Oh,
Mark.
it's Stuart.
Listen to fucking movie mistakes here.
Well, just saying.
I need to stop me. I've listened back. I have actually made a few mistakes in the earlier ones, so that's good. Get me right. I get too excited. I'm sweating. And so basically, he pulls up, and after he gives the line, "Oh, dude, you worried us so much." Pop, 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 pop.
9 shots were fired.
10.
10 was it?
Apparently 10.
I thought it was 9.
But Ken, what irritates me, why don't they drive away?
They're getting shot.
No, but
shot, Megan. Is it me?
No, because when the car drives back up, right, and he's shining a torch before he's even at the window, I would drive away.
A car's behind them. You've got a cliff.
I would
Yeah,
run
they
right my
kinda
car
line.
into it.
You would gun right into the cliff. You
No,
don't
I
know
would
he's
drive
gonna
back.
They don't see the gun.
But they would drive back in the car.
Aye.
But they're not going to get far, are
Then he's
they?
still going to shoot you though.
No, if you run him over,
Well, why would he walk
He's
in?
at the
He's not going to walk
side.
in between the car though. He parked right up their arse, didn't
I would get out that car and have it off with him.
he? You would.
But
Oh, you'd have it off with him, would you?
I'm like,
I'd
here
get out of
mate,
that
what's
car.
your issue?
I'd get out that car and take him to Carlisle.
We'll try.
Hold on, don't get hit.
Nah, I don't think. Anyway, they don't run him over.
Ricky.
No, they get shot.
Yep, they get shot. Maggio actually, it shows him then driving away. Then it shows Maggio outside the car as he's found. He actually survives the kill.
But Zodiac goes back to shoot him again when he realises.
Yeah.
He's like, that guy's still moving.
Well,
so he gets back in the
not-
car and pops another 2 into him. That's when he hits him in the knee.
That's it. So basically then you hear his call to the police, and he says, oh, I've killed them, this is where they are. And oh, by the way, I also killed thought 2 kids last year, like it's an afterthought.
Like, exactly. Like, it's the most... Oh, and by the way, I did that too.
So I've done this too, just letting you know, bye-bye, and he drives away.
Yeah.
It's a month later in San Francisco.
If you're
Beautiful.
going...
that is karaoke, Megan.
Yeah.
Getting excited for karaoke night here.
I'll request Afro Man because I got high, please. So basically, we see Robert Graysmith, and he's a political cartoonist for the San Francisco Chronicle, and he's getting his kids ready to go to school, and then he goes off to his work at the paper. You then follow, as the credits come on, a letter in the mail, and it's written on it, deliver to the editor, straight to the editor.
Aye, straight to the editor.
But obviously it goes to the secretary. Editor and everybody's in a meeting talking about the day's paper as they'll do every day. Robert's doing the cartoons for it. He goes in and the secretary goes, you need to have a look at this, and they open the letter. And this is what it said. Now, should I read it?
Yeah, read it.
Right, I'll read it.
That's what all these 9 pages are.
I did this one and then I went, I am not doing every letter because it is difficult.
Do you not do the codes as well?
I didn't crack them, Hayley.
Oh, right.
Again, no, it's, but dear editor, this is the murder of the 2 teenagers last Christmas at Lake Herman and the girl on the 4th of July near the golf course in Vallejo. To prove I killed them, I shall state some facts which only I and the police know. Christmas, and Christmas is spelt with 2 S's. That comes up pretty a lot. 1, brand name of ammo, Super X.
Nice.
Badass, isn't it?
That's pretty
That's
cool.
pretty bad. No wonder folk get into guns. That's pretty cool.
Exactly.
2, 10 shots were fired. The boy was on his back with his feet to the car. The girl was on her right side. Feet to the west. 4th of July. Girl was wearing patterned slacks. The boy was also shot in the knee. Brand name of ammo was Western Hair. Here is part of a cipher. The other two parts of this cipher are being mailed to the editors of the Vallejo Times and the San Francisco Examiner. I want you to print this cipher on the front page of your paper. In this cipher is my identity. If you do not print this cipher by the afternoon of Fry, 1st of Aug 69, I will go on a kill rampage. Fry night, I will cruise around all weekend killing people in the night, then kill again until I end up with 12 people over the weekend. And he leaves them with the symbol, which is a circle with, a plus through it.
Like
it's almost like a crosshair for a gun. And then they discuss whether to run the story or not. Nowadays, no way would they do this nowadays.
Do you not think they would run that?
No way.
I think they would, like.
I would.
Do you see, like, when was the last time you saw a killer's anything that he'd done in the paper that they didn't?
Terrorists.
What?
They're always bigging up terrorists. Well, not bigging them up, but they put it on, like, they put terrorist stuff in the paper.
The terrorists put it up online.
Well, true, actually. You wouldn't write to the paper now, though. The
No.
paper's it's not a big enough force.
No, they just
Is
put
that
it,
what you mean? Sorry.
they
I thought
just
you
put
meant,
it on Al Jazeera.
Sorry, I thought you meant they wouldn't publish it.
No, but the paper wouldn't they, I don't think.
I think they would, but it's just no one would send it to them because they're not a powerful enough force
Everyone
to
would
be
just,
Like,
reckoned
that's
with.
all they would be then, apart from, well, they had the telly.
Yeah, but I mean, I think now you'd put it on, like, the internet. You'd try and get it to go viral.
You
You
would
wouldn't.
just tweet it, wouldn't you?
Probably easier to find you, though. He's tweeted this.
No, because you'd make up like a fake profile.
Yeah, but it's
The
easy to
Zodiac,
crack that, innit?
hashtag killings.
But anyway, they discuss whether to run the story. They actually Paul checks the authenticity of the kills and gives it back to the editor, and apparently these kills took place, which is a sensible move because it could be pure bollocks, and then they print it, they check it up, and
They
it all goes
fact-checked.
to there. And they check with the other two papers, and they received the other two ciphers. Now, ciphers are like 17 across, few down, and ciphers basically, it's a puzzle. You're trying to get a
code.
message. Yeah, it's a code. You're trying to get it out, but MD can go and get a puzzle book and make a puzzle, and then you have to try and decipher what the real message says. He basically says, you get these three, it'll get my identity. Richard basically says he's not going to give his identity.
Why would he?
But nobody's
he
really
wouldn't.
listening to him at this point, but it comes into play. But, it finds out that the facts were, so far, the first two victims, David Arthur Faraday, 17, and Betty Lou Jensen, 16, were shot at Lake Herman. This was the first one, and then the second one was the one we've just seen with Michael and Darlene. But obviously Michael's survived.
Mm-hmm.
They decide to run the ciphers on page 4. Robert again assures they won't give his name, and Paul Avery really likes the pub or the bars.
What was the name of the pub again? Was it Morty's or something?
Morty's.
Brilliant.
Hey,
I have another thing about that. Morty's, I think, is Latin for death.
really?
Yeah, that was why they called it Morty's in the film.
That's pretty sweet.
So I had 2 facts.
That's pretty. Is that the two facts? Is
Yeah,
it?
that was the other one.
Well, Megan's got 5 of it. So
Just not found the right
Still
point.
waiting for a.
She's got to find the point.
Not
Ken.
found it point yet.
Mm-hmm. But
Okay,
And Hayley's
there.
over there in the corner being ridiculously quiet.
Well,
Rest
not
in,
even 7 weeks to go, by the way.
rest in the microphone in her belly.
Yeah.
Who needs a mic stand?
Aw.
there's a lot of this to go through. We've all
I
got points
know.
we're gonna jump in. Jump in when you want. Question me. I'm sweating. I've cracked this. Okay. So basically, then we cut through and we see the CIA, all these federal bureaus of everything. They're all looking at the codes, the ciphers, trying to figure it out. Then we go to
A teacher couple
a teacher, basically a teacher and his wife, I believe it is.
who
It's,
cracked the code.
Yeah, aye, in California, in Salinas, California, Donald and Betty Hardum, they just have like a stay-in holiday. Let's break this code.
Do you know what I liked about that? It was like the guy who was sitting and then he looked at his missus and he's like, "What, have a go at cracking this?"
Mm-hmm.
If I said that to Hayley, she'd be like, "Don't be stupid."
Aye, but what's she talking? What are you talking about cracking?
Exactly.
But you never hear them again, though. Like, you don't see them at all again in that
There's
film.
nothing more for
There's
them.
no-
They just
I
crack
know,
one
but
of the
it's just
ciphers
random, and it's just...
But how do they know they've cracked it?
because they figure it
Because
out.
it made sense.
Aye. Now
But I could just say anything and it makes sense.
Yeah,
they
but
check it. The
it
CIA
was-
now check
yeah,
it.
no, they did check it all out. Like,
Aye, but you don't know what that puzzle's meant to say, so how do you know you've got it right?
that's the whole point. You've got to try and crack the code.
But you'll never know if you've got it because you didn't know what it was.
You don't know for sure, mate. I mean, the fact is that apparently this one was quite difficult to do. The other two they're just, apparently, they've been doing it ever since, and they've said it is just gibberish.
Yeah.
Like, he could make mistakes, you know. It might not be a smart man that's doing this. Probably not.
Nah.
Most killers aren't clever, but they're good at one thing, and it's killing.
Exactly.
Aye. So basically, they do it 3 days later, and it comes to them, and it was right. Robert was right. Didn't give his identity. Paul becomes a bit more enamoured. Like, oh well, how did you know that? They start talking a bit more because he's not talked to him in 9 months since he started until this, basically. And he references a book, which is also a film that came out by then, called The Most Dangerous Game, and he also says they should be slaves for his afterlife, which garners a lot of things later on that maybe he was a Satanist because it was a big Satanist movement and it was all about. And there's also a thing in Greek mythology that everyone you kill becomes your slave once you die.
Hail Satan.
Hail Satan. So yeah, then they receive another letter, and he explains how he killed them in the dark. Now the thing is, they said these shots are amazing. How did they kill them in the dark?
That's where they figure out about the torch.
Yep, he's taped a flashlight to the gun to shoot in the dark. This is the first letter where he also calls himself the Zodiac.
In the film, though, did he have that actually attached to like
That was the light. That's how he didn't have the
Aye.
light in one hand. He had the gun.
Do you know, like when he was shooting, it's basically what he said was like when you hold the gun with the torch strapped to the side, wherever that light is hitting, when you shoot there, that's where the bullet's going to hit. That's how he shot folk so easily.
I could be wrong, but you don't see the first two folk getting killed. I could be wrong unless they've changed it, but apparently the first one, the lassie ran from the car and he shot her in the dark from 20 yards.
You don't get to see that one
No.
because they weren't sure exactly what happened. That's
No.
why they didn't show you it.
Yeah.
Whereas that one, because the guy survived, that's how
Yeah.
they knew what happened.
He can give an account.
So that's why they didn't include that in the film.
Speaking of accounts, we get rock and roll with this next one. So it's September 27th, 1969 at Lake Berryessa in Napa County. Brian and Cyril Shepherd, they're 20 and 22. They're basically chilling, relaxing, having a nice wee couple's day in a nice warm park. Megan knows all about them.
This is the bit where they flew in the trees.
Aye, they flew in the trees for this. They wanted it to look
Those
authentic.
expensive trees.
That's a $3 million tree right there.
Where's this budget went, David? Don't worry
That's
about
where he was
it.
hiding, no, wasn't he? He was hiding within the trees.
Hiding
Well,
behind the trees.
You see,
That's why they had them.
Oh, $3 million just for that one tree. We need a tree big enough to hide this man.
He is quite a big guy.
He's a big
Yeah,
guy.
he
He does
was
look
actually.
a big guy. So
You
basically,
forgot to say what he was wearing.
I'm getting to it.
Oh, right, okay.
So they're sitting chilling. She's talking about how romantic. Guy's quite witty and that. He's quite funny. So basically,
They're rolling
chilling.
about.
Aye, they're getting ready for some friskiness.
They were going to be doing it outside.
Aye, doing it well. So basically, she notices that there's a man over there, and he's not got his hood on at this point, but you can't see who he is. And the guy goes, "Well, it's a public park, and he's right.
And he's like, and we are pretty sexy.
Aye, we are pretty hot.
He literally does, doesn't he?
Aye. And then the guy hides behind the tree. He goes, he's hid behind the tree now, and he goes, so he's taking a leak. He's very
He's
sensible.
very
this man.
blasé about this
Aye.
entire situation.
To be fair though, you wouldn't expect that.
But I mean, that guy's going to be watching us doing it. We're pretty sexy. He's went behind the tree. He's having a leak.
Aye, Ken. Some folk are into that.
I know,
Just a
because he
bit
doesn't
of a
even look
voyeur.
round, does he?
No, he's happy. He's chilling.
Like, he doesn't even look round to, like, see him.
No, he's not interested.
Then she's like, my God.
He comes through, and behind the tree he must be putting his hood on. So basically what he comes out in is an executioner's hood with his symbol on his chest.
Pretty cool costume.
Pretty metal.
I mean, it's like dressing up as Superman
Oh, it should look up.
if you're a murderer.
The thing is, the man survives this. Brian survives this, and if they didn't know this, they'd have no idea he was dressed in this get-up. And this is the most famous. There is a composite sketch of him. Now they can't always be right. There is two. They give two explanations of who this guy was. It could be multiple folk. In reality, you don't know.
Exactly.
But they do know this. And basically, what he does is he says he's escaped from a prison in Montana and he's killed the guard, and he's going to take the car to Mexico. And he gets him down the ground. He asks the lady to tie the man up, and she does it. Then he goes and ties the man up, and then he reties her. and they asked to see if the gun really had bullets. They're getting still a bit blasé after this.
Again, when he's like, "Oh, did the gun even have bullets?" Why would you ask?
Well,
someone
he's a sociology major, so today we're speaking. So he's like, I can really help you, and he kind of he's actually maybe knows what to say in these situations.
See if I was the Zodiac at that point, right?
I
would have shot him. Is that gun actually got bullets? Like bang.
Aye, but a lot of killers like to have control.
I know that, but
Yeah, but that's why you'd shoot him in the leg.
the sheer brass neck of that, though.
Aye, but
Do you know what I mean? Is that gun really? Aye, shoot him in the leg.
Aye, but he does
send a message.
Aye, but he does show him he does show him the gun, and it was loaded, and basically, then he goes, "We might freeze out here," but he just pushes them down, and he's gonna take the car, and then as they're saying, it's gonna be okay. Now he survives this attack, so this is where we have this story.
To be fair, he only got stabbed 3
times. This is the same as the kill him the last time. The men seem to survive. He becomes more interested in the women, and he doesn't finish off 2 of the men.
Yeah, but I think he stabbed him 3 times.
Then went straight to the woman. Then he goes to town on her.
Shout at her, yeah.
But why? I don't know why he didn't shoot her. Like, do you know when he asked?
He changed it up, and then because after he's done killing them, he leaves like a kind of description on the side of the car. It's like
of the 2 previous murder sites,
Aye.
and then this one he gives the time 4:30, and then by knife.
Yeah, it's all about like control. And
to quote Henry Zabrowski, metal as hell.
It's more about like though trying to kind of show who's boss, and he's like he's 1 step ahead.
He's in control. He's step ahead. The police are stupid in his mind. He is in control, and he doesn't even take the car, but he again phones this in.
Aye, exactly. So he's phoning it in. He's basically giving them all the information.
They literally say when they find these phones, they are literally hanging off the cord. So he's away again, but obviously this is kill number 4. But
that we know of.
Yeah, that we know of. Aye. So there we go. Then they go to a radio show. There's a curfew been enforced in some of the close by cities. Paul Lynn, taxi driver, we see him in the town, goes down the lane, and then all of a sudden, BAM! Shot in the back of the head.
But on the radio was all about the killings, wasn't it?
They were listening, and it's like, an old woman going, "Well, I just think it's horrible to place a deal." You still get this, but now it's all online, isn't it? Can.
Yeah, so I'm upstairs, I'm listening to my Will Smith CD.
Beautiful.
Jane Yamamoto.
Aye, but Paul Lynn's 29. He's shot in the back of the head, and the thing is, we every time he's shooting, the guns are changing.
Oh yeah, because he doesn't want his every kill was different, wasn't it?
This is most serial killers keep to the same thing. They very rarely change, and then you're able to. He's changing. He's stabbing them. He's doing everything different. This was October 11th, 1969, at Presidio Heights in the taxi. So basically, he does this, and as he does this, there's a family of kids that literally see this happen. They see the murder. They see the guy. They call it in as this is happening. It's called as a 911 in progress.
In the film, you get to hear the 911 phone call. Is that the original phone call?
I looked this up and I couldn't find. I believe. I don't know about this one, but I believe some of his calls earlier are the original ones.
Yeah.
I don't know if the 911 is.
It's quite a nice touch when they did that, though.
It's good.
Do you know what I mean? It hits home.
It's David Fincher, baby.
Good.
It's good. So basically, David Tosh is called. He's called to the scene. Originally, what happened is they've said, "Oh, it's a black male," and then quickly changed it. No, it's a white male.
Yeah.
So originally, the police are looking for a black guy. See, times haven't changed. Man.
Bit racist.
Yeah, it is. But then, obviously, they start looking about. There's gloves in the car, but then there's a bloody fingerprint. Why would he have a fingerprint if his gloves are there? He's took his wallet, but it's basically his third fare of the night. Why would he do this for $8.50?
Yeah.
So all these questions, but the guy's dead. They don't find anybody. They start investigating it. It's a single
apparently wasn't far away though.
No, well that's what they said. It can't be far. So it's a 9mm from a Luger. It's different again. 3 days later, they get another letter, and this time it's got a bloody rag of Paul Stein's shirt. The guy's killed, so he's basically took a cutting of this,
which is why he went into the front of the car because they thought he was robbing them.
Yep,
and he did. He took the $8, but he was mainly in there.
And he always gives something in these letters that only him and the police would know to show this was me.
Yeah.
This was definitely me. This, a lot of folks say this is where this is where it ends, and the rest is all
Horseshit.
folk have said, and could be true, could be no, but a lot of folks say, no, this is where it ends. This is where it actually ends. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but I think this is closing most of it. So he basically says in the letter, you could have caught me if you checked the park correctly instead of driving about with your sirens going crazy. There he is. Pull over. And then he threatens to shoot up a school bus and shoot the little darlings as they come off.
Yeah.
So then basically they don't want to send their kids on school buses. It's all a big kind of panic.
It shows
there.
you the cartoonist guy. What the hell's his name again? Was it Jake?
Yeah.
Yeah, he takes his kid to the...
He drives him to school because he's so paranoid about it as well. He drives his son to school.
Yep. Then we see Paul Avery does a letter in his chronicle, and he basically called him a latent homosexual.
Latent homosexual. Zodiac did not take kindly to that, did he?
Well, not later on. But they open up a line to phone in if you've any information. Thousands of calls.
Aye.
Which happens all the time.
Like every maniac.
There's literally a woman that phoned in and went, I believe my husband is the Zodiac. He had his hands on me last night as we were sleeping. And she phoned back and left the voicemail about 5 minutes later going, I discussed it with him. Apparently I snore really loud. He was just trying to shut me up. I'm sorry. That was one interesting one I found.
Oh, that's funny.
I was snoring the other night and Hayley said it was one of the strangest sounds she's ever heard in her life.
What did it sound like?
Honestly,
She won't do an impression for me though.
I wish I'd done a video because I was like, I honestly thought it was one of the kids' toys. I thought, this is totally weird. But then the next night he was back to normal, so I couldn't take a video.
Back to normal snoring.
What's that? It sounds like a giraffe is dying over there.
Honestly, I was ready to go and get do you know how well you maybe don't, but sometimes if the kids battery some of the toys, if the batteries are dying, it just randomly comes on.
No.
I've had that.
That's the freakiest thing ever.
Just means they're possessed.
It is. One night I had to come downstairs and turn this thing off. I was like, what is wrong with this?
Oh no, I would have been
2
at
in the
house.
morning. 2 in the morning. There's a snake in my boot. Oh, Christ.
So you
I
don't
would
have
just
these
assumed it was
issues.
Vinny coming to life. Like
See, Mark punches in his sleep.
he punches.
I
Yeah.
can get arrested for this. You watch yourself.
Honestly, I get punched in the face and that in his sleep.
Oh, we.
Really?
Once.
Didn't I wake you up?
Once.
I woke him up because he punched me right in the face. I thought I was going to have a black eye in the
I
morning.
wonder if I could get away with that.
No.
I was asleep.
We've got that pillow in between us. There's no
there's
way.
a wall between us now anyway.
What, are you Jewish?
It's the best
Ken.
contraceptive ever.
What do you mean? The damage is done.
Exactly.
It's like...
No, I have a pregnancy pillow
Ah.
and it's so comfy.
What I said was, why don't you just sleep downstairs or in a
Away.
separate room?
What, on the
but-
couch?
Aye.
Just with the dog, he takes up the half the room anyway.
I slept on the couch for 8 years and my posture's not ruined at all, is it?
Quasimodo in the corner there.
Megan! Right, so basically they ask where's the survivor, Michael, that's seen him, because he's seen his face. And he's skipped town. He wants nothing to do with this.
He's thinking, sack this. I'm not getting caught up in
I
that.
can't blame him. Really.
Really?
I'd
I'd be pretty pissed off.
I'd be pissed off that he could help with the case, but
No, I mean, like, whoever did it to me, I'd be like, nah, fuck you.
you would, but you don't know how you'd feel, would you? But they're struggling. They share this in police departments. This is how a lot of serial killers got away with things. If they do something in a different state, they can't get information. They're always playing with each other, trying to share information.
See, that's a bit of a bitch move to me. Do you think they wouldn't do that now?
No,
No,
no.
I mean, I thought
did
so.
it then? You show me mine, I'll show me yours. We boys playing with our cocks, basically.
It's exactly, it's a
Aye.
pissing contest. Like.
Aye. Oh yeah. Or as Megan would say, play with your pickle.
No, tickle your pickle.
Tickle your pickle. Wow. But they've come to information that he wears the 10.5 windbreaker boot from his footprints. Only the military can get these. So they're saying he must have been in some form of military training.
Well, the
at
thing is,
some
as
point.
well, with the codes and stuff as well, they kind of assumed he had some sort of, like, military training.
Navy. They say it could be possibly Navy.
Hello, sailor.
In the Navy.
was about to
when
say
sailors in the seas. And some of the clues you know, at some of these scenes, folk have cleaned them up before the cops got there. Wrong move.
Exactly.
This
What's
is
that about?
It's a big, but this happened a lot in the Jack the Ripper case.
Yeah, I know.
Someone comes out with a bucket. Better get rid of this blood, tally-ho. Oh well, we can't do anything now.
To be fair, they didn't have forensics back then anyway, so it wouldn't matter.
They were just starting to solve some cases where how was the blood landed here, what was he doing, what was the weapon was he using. There's more to it than we know.
Yeah.
You know, but I know what you're saying. There wasn't much, but they're far more new, and this could have been big things in the case. And also, what they come to the conclusion is that 2 policemen that night come to the 2 other cops, and basically say, we saw a guy that matches the description of the white guy, but at the time they were looking for a black guy. So if that wrong thing hadn't came out, that black guy, possibility, they just let this guy go. They went, he didn't match the description. They gave them a hard time over this. I'd give the guy that gave the wrong ethnicity the blame, really.
I mean, to be fair though, letting anyone escape a murder scene, you know what I mean, you'd have stopped them and like, what did you see?
I'm surprised they let him go though, because I mean at the end of the day...
Well, they were driving past though, that was the thing, they didn't stop. They were driving past the guy.
Oh, right.
It's a split second thing. They could have.
What was the serial killer as well that had done something very similar to that, and the police had stopped him and went, you know that guy that's just been doing the murderers and that there, have you? And they're like, no, but if you need any help, you remember, that was in the last podcast.
I don't know, because the most serial killers, I've got it coming up later. Most serial killers actually are the most helpful. They always want to help. Now that doesn't go for every time, but it's a big thing.
Yeah.
Of course they're going to try and help though.
Not everybody, but I think most of them do. I think that's the most helpful.
It's to try and defer the attention from them.
Yeah.
So, is the Zodiac the cartoonist?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Could
he gets right involved, doesn't he?
So you watched 2 hours and 40 minutes of the film and you think the cartoonist did it?
Aye.
So he wrote his own,
did you sleep through story? A lot of the film again?
Again? No, he's saying stuff and I'm like, did that happen?
Imagine if we had a wee bit of went. We've just watched that again. And we're shattered. Just
Megan slept through it again.
I'm nothing but a sweat ball at the end of it again. Oh God, I need to take this hat off, but I've got a helmet here. Anyway,
it's okay. We watched it.
Especially
with your Christmas t-shirt on. I can't stop.
Actually, maybe put that back.
I knew this would happen.
Can that wee gopher video like there that like guns like that?
Dun, dun, dun.
Aye, that's exactly what you looked like there.
God, this is killing me. I'm glad I wasn't on this case as a cop.
Oh man.
Again, but this actually it really got to the police officers in this. Some of them really got to them. Again, but basically, Robert and Paul discuss the case and come to good conclusions. Robert's really into puzzles and things, and he kind of explains how he got ciphers. They also in the bar. Robert doesn't drink much, and he's drinking a sort of blue drink.
There was actually a fact about blue. Blue was like one of the kind of colours of the entire thing. In every scene, there was something very blue, and the blue drink was one of them.
Oh,
there was a reason for the blue, and I can't fucking remember what it was now.
Yeah, but he seems to get caught up with the women and the men survive in some of the cases. That's what they come to. Basically, and then what happens here is the Zodiac apparently calls in and says he wants to speak on a morning TV show with Melvin Belly, and this is played by Brian Cox, who's a Scottish actor, Braveheart and Troy and things like that. He also played. There's a Silence of the Lambs before Silence of the Lambs, kind of Mindhunt. I think it's Mind.
That's like a prequel, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's basically he plays Hannibal Lecter, but instead of Anthony Hopkins. But he's only in one scene for it, but he's pretty good. But he plays Melvin Ball, and they call in to a radio station. We might splice this in, but it turns out he talks and he calls himself Sam.
Yeah,
and they talk and they try to arrange a meeting. They try to get him to meet in another place, but he would only meet on top of this building. They talk. He says he can help him. He says, I killed a kid. Now I've got headaches. And there's a scream. So basically, they go downtown. He says he'll meet them. Secret meeting. And Melvin actually says his helicopters are flying over him and lights everywhere. Boy, you boys sure know how to put on a secret meeting.
Unbelievable.
But they trace this call and everything. It turns out it's a guy from the mental institution. He's just phoned in.
Utter nonsense.
But they said the guy that phoned in before to arrange the meeting The guy that phoned in to arrange a meeting had a calmer, smoother voice, and they went, that could have been him. So, you know, who knows what could have happened.
Sam?
Uh-huh.
We're not tracing these calls. You have my word.
Okay.
Sam, you need to tell me what your problem is.
I don't want to go to the gas chamber. I have headaches. I kill. I don't get them.
That is fucked up.
You want to live, don't you? Well, this is your passport. How long have you been having these headaches?
Since I killed a kid. I don't want to be hurt.
Why is he calling?
I don't want to go to the gas chamber.
You won't get hurt if you talk to me.
You're not going to the gas chamber.
I wouldn't think they would ask for capital punishment. We should ask the district attorney. Do you want me to do that, Sam? Do you want me to talk to the district attorney? Well, what was that, Sam?
I did not say anything.
We heard a scream.
That was my headache.
You sound like you're in a great deal of pain.
My head aches. I'm so sick. Oh, I'm gonna kill them.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Sam.
But he then writes another letter and says that he actually puts a sort of cement on his fingers to stop fingerprints from being shown when he's not wearing gloves.
Oh,
So
yeah.
he's not so stupid.
But then see when they're doing in the newspaper room thing and they're all having their wee meeting and stuff and they're all about funny about like touching it as if they are going to get fingerprints off it.
Well, the main police officer actually says, right, how many of you, like, he's got his gloves on and he's gone, right, how many of you touched this? And like, haven't they touched this? One person puts up their hand and he goes, right, I need all your fingerprints so that we can actually cancel out all your fingerprints.
Aye, to
So
prove
he's
that
like,
it's not
you
you.
are fucking this up, will you stop touching it, Ken? Because they're all just passing about.
Yeah.
But that, well, I suppose that was early on though. That wasn't straight
No,
away.
but it's a valid question. Definitely. Aye. No, Hayley, don't be scared to ask. That's what we're here for.
Here to educate.
Educate, Jesus Christ. I've nearly ruined my brain with this bloody thing. But anyway,
Mark,
and
you're
then
the only one who took notes, so you just feel free to fire on.
I know. Am I talking too
You've
much?
just got
No,
too
not
much
at all.
time in your hands.
I do.
Exactly.
I do. I
The
should
rest
be
of us will work
I-
very hard.
What is this work you speak of? I'm self-employed. I should be.
What am I?
I should be romancing and things. The life of a plumber's not bad. Ken. And he has a blueprint of a bomb he plans to use, basically, and a new cipher. This is Paul and Robert have a drink to discuss their drinking. Aqua Velva is the drink, and Paul's basically going, "This drink can no longer be ignored. What is
Aye,
this?"
what are you drinking?
And he goes, "You wouldn't make fun of it if you tried it." And he tries it. Next scene, they're both having them.
They're
Love
absolutely
that.
smashed on.
I'm getting smashed. So basically, going through a bit more. It's a good wee scene. The letter mentions a basement, and Robert basically says there's not a lot of basements in California.
Apparently, that's a common thing.
Yeah. What? That there's
Apparently.
not.
No, there's not. Sorry.
Aye.
Aye.
So he goes that you can cut down houses with that. They're trying everything they can.
They're trying to exhaust every possible route that they can.
Aye. We then go back to Melvin, who has actually had a lot of letters from him. He's been speaking to him privately. He brings the police in after he's went to the paper, of course, because
Oh, naturally.
what are you gonna do? And his housekeeper actually spoke to him on the phone.
Yeah.
So a housekeeper actually spoke to the Zodiac while he was away.
And that was when he gave the kind of insignificant detail at the time, but they figured it out. It's like, oh, today is my birthday.
Mm-hmm. And that comes up later
I need to
on.
kill,
Yeah.
which comes back
It's
into
my
play
birthday.
later on.
Yep, totally right, Chief. 2.5 months later, it's on Highway 132 in California. March 22nd, 1970. A woman's pulled over by a man, flashing his lights. He says, "Oh, your wheel nuts and your rear tyre are loose. Do you want me to tighten them up?" She goes, "Suppose she's got a baby in the back."
Clearly, he's slacking on them.
Oh yeah.
Righty tighty, lefty loosey.
Aye. Might splice this if you want.
Yeah, this was obvious that was going to happen.
Oh yeah.
I said that even before, and Scott's like, "Oh, look at you. You know what's happening." It's like,
And
well,
then
it's all-
again, why
Can I
did
fuck
she
about
let
with
him
your
do
tyre?
it?
No.
That's what
That's
I mean.
what I
Some
mean.
people are quite stupid, aren't they?
Someone said to me, "Can I mess about with your tyre in your car?" No.
Exactly. I'll take it to a garage in the morning. Thanks, pal.
Da!
Drive away.
Especially at
or
that late
run
night.
him over
Why
if
was
it
she
was
going
you.
about at that time of night with a baby?
But I mean,
gotta
it could have
go
been
home.
7 o'clock at night just because it was dark.
Oh, right, true.
Well, I mean, this was in March, so I don't know what it's like in California though at March at this
I
time.
don't know.
You know, I mean, she could have been at her pals getting it. I don't know. Could have been doing anything. She could have been. She could have been
on her way to Carlisle.
Aye, rumpy pumpy.
Either
Um,
way, she shouldn't have let him do it.
He says he's tightening them up. He goes, "Well, you can't be too careful." Oh, the dog just awoke.
It's
Anyway.
just sneezed.
As she drives, wheels fall off the car. He stops, comes back, and goes, "Oh, there must have been worse than I thought. I can give you a
Creepily
ride to
though,
garage."
creepily reverses back up the motorway.
Aye,
See, whenever somebody reverses, you know you're in trouble.
Especially if it's you reverse
oh,
our
great.
folk.
Megan,
No, have you
back
noticed
me
in
in.
every horror film they always reverse back?
Well, you
Put
can't.
reverse lights on, run for your life. Just saying.
Megan, back me in, make sure they're hitting in. I'm not trusting you, pal. Can. Aye, well, fair dues. You want to keep yourself alive.
Just saying, a lot of creepy folk reverse back.
Oh, fair dues. I'm going to look out for that now. Ken.
Anybody I see reverse parking, I'm going to be
No, just if it's like a creepy scenario, then you've got to worry.
define a creepy scenario.
Like late at night, dark.
That guy reverse parking late at night. I reverse park my car every night, Megan.
No, but in the middle of nowhere. It's not going to do it in the town centre.
He might murder you wherever he is. You never know.
This taxi driver got murdered in the taxi in the city while
Aye,
folk watched.
shot in the back of the head with the guy in the
Aye,
car.
but was he reversing?
You'd probably heard somebody reaching for a gun though, and you like fanning about it.
To be fair, though, carry on with the story because I don't think she gets shot. does she?
Aye.
Oh no, she doesn't know.
No.
No.
So
This
basically,
bit actually, this is probably the most disturbing bit of the film for me.
I think
Nice.
because it's got a Wayne involved.
It was just the bit. I'll let Mark tell his bit, and then I'll say the bit that freaked me out.
So basically, she gets in the car and he goes, "I didn't know you had a baby." And she goes, "Is that going to be a problem?" He goes, "More the merrier." So he
That's
starts-
pretty chilling as
Yeah,
well.
he drives past and then he's talking about you shouldn't smoke, it's a bad habit. And then they drive past, she notices that they drive past the service station. She goes, "You just drove past it." He goes, "That one was closed." And she goes, "Okay." And then he gives the harrowing line, "Before I kill you, I'm going to throw your baby out the window."
Terrifying.
Dun dun dun.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Yeah, we're fine.
Must have been worse than I thought. I can give you a lift to a service station.
Okay. It's okay.
I didn't know you had a baby.
Oh, is that okay?
The more the merrier. You shouldn't smoke. It's a bad habit.
I think we just passed a filling station.
It was closed.
Do you always go around helping people in the night?
When I'm done with them, they don't need much help.
Shh, it's okay.
Before I kill you, I'm gonna throw your baby out the window.
So basically, the next scene we have, she's on the side of the road screaming, telling people to stop. Truck driver stops.
Truck driver stops, finds her screaming in and
Aye.
out. She's
And
hysterical.
But you didn't see anything like
No.
him chucking or
What?
her even getting out the
No,
car.
she commando rolled out the car. That's
Yeah.
what she
Aye.
goes
No,
on
but
to
you didn't
explain.
see that though, did
No,
you?
no.
No, you don't.
But the lorry driver's like, "Oh, I don't know what's wrong with her," because this nurse kind of pulls up. She's like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "Oh, I found her like this kind of thing." And then,
Aye, but she's buried her baby, hasn't she?
well, that's the thing. Is she's like,
Not
she's
buried her,
screaming
but-
about a baby,
Aye,
and
well,
the
she
woman
has-
asks her.
but she's had it, hasn't she?
Aye, she
Yeah,
has
she
it.
hides him in the side of the road. It was like in case he came back, and it's like what
she
the-
did. Apparently, he searched for her for about 45 minutes to an hour.
Did he?
Yeah, I mean, doesn't show her that, but
No,
she
but-
hid. She just hid, and luckily he gave
Thing
up.
is, as well, she looks pretty rough. I mean, she commando rolled out a moving
Aye.
car
With a baby.
with a baby.
Apparently, she could see him really close to her at some point, and he was like jumping up and down and that. He was absolutely raging. You know, which is like a thing of maybe this might not have been the Zodiac. That's what they get to at this point.
Aye,
you know,
that's the thing. You don't know if it was him or not, but not being funny. Chances are,
could be.
Well, because they're going to hear all this on the radio, on the telly. Surely they're going to...
The thing is...
How can she not identify him?
because you don't know it was him.
No, but how can she not identify the guy that did it to her?
Oh, she'll have gave a description.
Aye, but...
Yeah, but he didn't have like his top on or anything, did he?
He didn't have his Zodiac
No,
costume on.
I
it's
didn't
just
have
a
all
guy.
that.
No.
So
He was-
basically they
he was
let
Clark
another
Kent,
criminal
not
go as
Superman.
well.
There are a few. I mean, one of the descriptions of the Zodiac is of a slim white guy with glasses with a crew cut. The next one is he's quite a chubby guy with a crew cut.
Yeah.
You know, it's it's one of
It
those.
could have just put on weight through the time.
Interesting fact here, guys.
Oh,
One of many.
Is this the first bullet point?
Well, it's number 4, but it fits him.
So...
2,500 people were investigated to be the killer.
it's a lot of folk.
So quite a lot of people.
So see, you've got to pick and choose. So basically,
Sitting quite chuffed with herself.
in future
Homework, Hayley,
Former-
pays off.
she's fair. Well, it's a good fact though.
Mark there with his 9-page story.
but
Megan
mine-
with... Not even half a page.
Focal began
It's
to
more
mind.
than you, though.
This fucker with his notes.
I've got 4 lines.
But in future letters, he's asked for people to wear Zodiac buttons, and I'd love to have one of those buttons if they were
Where
made.
would you get a Zodiac button? Was he providing the buttons?
Nah, he's wanting somebody to make them, isn't he?
Aye.
You know, if he doesn't want the copyright, somebody else can make them and make the money.
Well, that's the thing. Do you think he'd want cut in? I mean, let's be honest. He's doing the killing. He'd probably want like a good 60-40 in his favour, wouldn't he?
Imagine it was
They
bank
didn't
details.
really know exactly where that was from though, because there's certain bits that came out and they were like, "Oh, that's from there." That's because like there was one that was the watch. Sorry, I'm not
we'll
ruining
get
it.
No, that comes into it.
But
We'll get to that.
Aye, that comes into it. You're definitely right.
but they didn't know exactly where that was from. That's what I'm saying. They
Well,
didn't
why
know
he chose Zodiac?
why he chose that symbol.
Well, it comes up that it might be for the watch. That's the only place where the name and that symbol go. But then there's also the symbol of the start of the pictures, like 3, 2, 1, picture start. That comes into another suspect. There's only really one other suspect that's kind of named prominently in this
in
film.
that film, yeah.
But there's loads more, and I think the Manion's really in this.
I think the two kind of, for my money, the two big ones.
There's
I'd say
another couple of
mentioned in
big ones, but I actually think they've got the top 2 that I would say
Aye.
in here. I think they've pretty much got it.
I think if you
and
get down the rabbit hole deep enough, you
Aye.
could pin it on like any of them.
I need to do this rabbit hole.
Aye, but that's what I mean. It's like, do you know what I mean? If you go looking for things,
This has aged me. This has literally aged me, and I'm not a young-looking man anymore. I am I look like the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark. There's just skin melting off my
the
face.
melting face.
Oh
You'll
God.
sleep well tonight, Mark.
Oh no. Anyway, so Paul shows Robert Zodiac letters taking credit for many of the murders that he may not have committed, just because they've already been articles and he's only naming the information in the articles, whereas before he was given a piece of the shirt,
Aye.
exact information that hadn't been put to the public and things. So he's gone, he wants attention. He's just not doing these things. Ken, this
Yeah.
has been proved. We've already got somebody for this.
Aye,
He's
exactly.
taking credit. So is he just doing that now, or is this just somebody putting in a hoax letter? You know, this is the thing.
That's the thing. Like,
Mhm.
people
And
are
then
idiots.
he points out that the Zodiac symbol and Zodiac in the watch make is the first time that these two symbols appear together in this big thing. Paul then receives a Halloween card with a piece of bloody shirt, and this is attributed to him calling a latent homosexual.
Apparently, Zodiac did not like being called a latent homosexual.
If you go.
So
Megan,
if we-
why were you worried about sneezing and then you did actually sneeze? What was that about?
Because I sneeze whenever I'm not meant to sneeze, I sneeze. Like last week, me and Mark were at a wedding and the groom stood up for his speech and then I went, achoo! And everyone started laughing and I was like, yep, sorry. Whenever I'm
Was
not
it like
meant
a
to
nervous
sneeze,
thing or something?
I don't know. I just get like, if I change temperature, I sneeze.
What?
Change temperature.
Yeah, like if I'm hot and then I get cold, like I'll sneeze. And if I'm cold and then I get too hot, I'll sneeze.
You should see her when I put her in the freezer for the night.
It's like my
Yeah.
body telling me like you need to either cool down or warm up.
So it's like a warning sign for you is just sneezing.
So
Sneeze all the time.
hypothermia will never attack Megan.
I was gonna say, what would you do when you get flu?
Oh, I sneeze like constantly, like 24/7.
It's
must-
a harder life, isn't it?
I was gonna say,
You get used to my sneezes, don't worry.
I didn't even notice you sneezing, really.
I just was saying because you said you were probably gonna sneeze at some point through it, and you did.
Who says romance?
All Mystic
isn't it?
Meg over here.
I'm psychic.
But then Robert goes on a date with Melanie.
Melanie.
And they get on really well, and she says, I've never had a date this
Exciting, I think.
exciting, really, because he's waiting for the call from Paul, who's went to meet an anonymous man in the middle of the night.
Clearly going to be murdered.
But he then gets information that claims that the murders from 66, which is attributed to the Riverside killer, may be the same guy as the Zodiac.
Ooh.
But he goes to the press before he goes to the cops.
Naturally.
And this leads them to a big fallout.
That kind of
because
pisses
you
the police off.
The cops investigate the Riverside killings where Sherry Jo Bates was killed in 1996. She left with a mail from the library and she was stabbed to death. There's links in the letters. They also found writing under a desk that the handwriting etch is similar to the Zodiac writer. Police don't think it is, though. They want to pin it on another guy. But that just shows, do they want to pin on another guy, or do they not think? Because some of them are convinced this is the same guy, and then some are like, no, we want to pin it on this guy.
It's the pissing contest between the police
and
again.
sometimes police in this day and age, maybe still new, I mean, I don't know, but apparently sometimes they just want a name and a face to calm the public.
Aye.
Can we pin it on this guy?
Which, imagine with the hysteria that was probably going on at that point with the Zodiac, they'd be wanting to pin it on someone. And
I
pretty
only
quickly.
understand.
Yeah. But Paul and David fall out big time over this. That's them, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, nah, fuck you, nah, fuck you, you know, and they're not going to work together.
Fuck fucking you!
Right. But you're in Torrance, California, July 26, 1971. A friend of Arthur Lee Allen said he actually talked about calling himself Zodiac and used a flashlight in his gun, and he was angry because he was fired from the school for touching kids, and he actually said about shooting the little darlings off a school bus.
Yeah. There was also the... What else did he say?
This was Don Chaney that said this.
Yes.
And he was a friend. But Arthur Lee Allen's friends...
There was also talk of The Most Dangerous Game as well, wasn't
Yeah,
there?
it's
So,
favourite book.
favourite book. So it all kind of started to fall into place that was the kind of... Behind the theory as to why he was... That was when he kind of first got investigated by the police, wasn't it?
And they said, why didn't this Don phone this in earlier? He said he did. He phoned it in and he got
And they
lost
didn't
in the
take him-
shuffle with all these other calls, didn't take him seriously.
They didn't take him seriously. So
And he said he didn't want to speak to him after this, and he was freaked out. There is a documentary. It's called something like Knowing Arthur Lee Allen, and it's all his friends giving interviews. His dickhead friends, like these are like the worst folk in the world.
what, his friends are arseholes?
Oh, he was as well. They talk about him, and he's a freak, like. But basically, what they say is they go. Yin goes, you know, David loved kids, and kids loved him. And
He was a paedophile.
and then he goes, but they just wanted to be around him, and you know, he was good at his job, and you know, he loved kids. And then the interview goes, he did admit in a later tape that he used the screams of children as, you know, something to climax to, and he goes, yes, he did.
Good guy.
Good guy. It's mad. It's,
Just your friendly local neighbourhood paedophile.
if you want to see some scumbags, watch this thing.
Jesus
Christ. It's pretty wild, some of the stuff that he was doing. You know, when you see him in this film, you think, oh, creepy, blah, blah, blah. You hear interviews with him, creepy as fuck. When you hear the stories about what he was up to, he's a psychopath, like.
Aye. So,
Absolute psychopath.
but he did eventually, like, sorry, out with the film, he did do time eventually, didn't he?
Well, he's done time a few times.
But it was for paedophile, it wasn't for...
It's
Killing, it was like
touching
for
kids and
molesting,
things,
aye.
yeah, and being creepy, basically, and things like that.
You can't just jail somebody for being creepy, like...
I don't know, there's a guy got arrested for getting his dog today like a Nazi sign to fin it funny
That's
for his
because
girlfriend.
it's like Nazis, though, isn't it?
It's
That was in Germany.
It's not illegal to have Nazi memorabilia.
No, but teaching your dog to fucking see Kyle's a bit different. He thought he'd found a loophole, he hadn't.
He's not looking for a loophole. It's legal in Germany.
It's illegal in Germany. Like.
That's what I said. Huh?
Aye, sorry, I thought you said legal.
No, it's illegal in Germany.
Aye.
But in this country, he's basically said, I'm doing this because my girlfriend thinks he's adorable. I'm going to find the least adorable thing to do it.
So he got his dog to see Kyle.
Aye. because she finds the dog adorable. He's like, I'm giving the most horrible thing.
I
you
actually
can do.
remember that. That was in the. I think I read that in the Lad Bible.
Yeah, and what were
Quality news outlet.
they? Oh, for fuck's sake. They'll be on the morn. Zodiac killer was actually this cute pug. Look at the pug. Fucking arseholes. Again, I've got a lot of hate. I'm not happy about that. Don't bring them up. I want
Angry.
them dead and buried.
Angry
Ken.
young man.
Aye, pish. Have they got any better since I've left, like?
No.
No, well, fuck them. Again, Lad Bible, my arse. Anyway, let's go into something more cheery than the Lad Bible.
Zodiac.
The Zodiac. So basically, they said, oh, he's got motive because of the school bus idea, because he'd be angry because he was
Because he
fun
lost his
molesting
job.
these kids, basically. And he'd been diving at Barriessa, Lake Barriessa. He also spells many words. They go to his brother and they say, we've got a Christmas card where he spells Christmas with 2 S's, the same as in the letter.
But they also is this not where they decide that he's ambidextrous as well?
Well, they get a call from somebody that says he's ambidextrous, which is basically you can write with your right and left hand. You can swap between them.
Yeah.
So you could write one with right, and then if you Zodiac writing with the left. That's what they come to.
And is it at this point where the handwriting expert kind of dismisses that though?
Yeah, but the thing is, Don Chaney, who said that this is him and he was his pal, in later interviews, they actually did a DNA sample after he was dead of envelopes that came for the Zodiac, and they don't match. And Don Chaney really wants this to be true. He really does want this guy to be it, and he goes, well, I didn't mention it, but I did lick some letters for him and stamps, and I wondered why. So he gets a bit sketchy.
Yeah.
But this is after his film timeline ends.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
but you know, whatever. And then they go to interview Arthur Lee Allen. He's got 10.5 size boots. He's got the Zodiac watch. He's very creepy, and he's quite sarky to the cops. He goes, I hope to live in a world where
They
don't
stop
call
call policemen pigs.
Mm-hmm. And there is later interviews with him in 91 where he goes, there's 2 types of liars in this world, fishermen and policemen, and not necessarily in that order. He's a creepy bastard, and the guy that plays him is really good. I can't remember his name. He's in the film The Founder, this guy.
Quite a
good.
hairdo.
How would you describe it?
Like an egg with sideburns.
And who doesn't go into the hairdressers and go, that's the look right there?
It's like an egg in an egg cup, isn't it really?
The old Dr. Robotnik look.
It is.
And Arthur's favourite book is The Most Dangerous Game. And then he just blatantly brings up, now he says he spoke to an officer after the second killing, basically. They never allude to who this is. Can't remember the name. He gives neighbours accounts. The neighbour saw me this day at 4 o'clock. It couldn't have been me. Okay, we'll question him. What's his name? Blah, blah, blah. He died a week later.
Aye. He's dead now.
But he says, I had knives in the back of my car covered in blood, but it was chicken's blood. It was chicken's blood. And he just brings that up. Like, well,
Out of nowhere. So, I mean, all arrows are pointing at this
Control.
guy. Control. He's an idiot.
But that's... If he's a killer, killers like to put it out in front of them and still get away with it. That's how a lot of them get caught.
Yeah. But again, it's circumstantial evidence, isn't it?
It's not enough to...
It's not proof.
No, they need
such.
proof. But this is how... Hopefully this is meant to lead to proof, which ultimately it bloody doesn't. But Paul Avery has hit the drink really hard. He's having a good time.
He's looking a bit worse for wear.
He's worse for wear. He does look like Robert Downey Jr. 4 years before this
Sleep-
film was made.
Sleeping in his car in the likes.
And thinks it's a bit early for this. It's 11 a.m. You missed the orientation. But basically leaves his job. He guns absolutely daft. Just fucking fuck this. Fingers up.
Off
to
the
everybody,
rails.
Leaves. Aye. So he's out, and he guns to a lesser paper basically.
Pretty much.
If you're talking about it, but he seems happy enough.
Living in his houseboat.
Then they have Arthur's handwriting, and it doesn't match. And they go, but is it? You know, he can use both hands. And he goes, well, I need more samples, and they can't get them that way. His sister-in-law basically says, we don't see him much since molesting. I sent him to a psychiatrist, and basically he went for 2 times, and she asked him, like, off the record, is he capable of killing? And he goes, oh yeah.
Aye, exactly.
Oh yeah, he's well capable of killing. He owns lots of firearms, and he's been known to use ciphers. They've seen him with puzzles and ciphers. So they tried to get a search warrant for his trailer. September 14th, 1972. Santa Rosa to check his trailer.
lots and lots of squirrels.
Now Megan has
I don't get the point in the
questions.
squirrels.
He's eating the squirrels, I think. 'Cause
See,
they
I
find them
think
in the fridge.
I think it was to prove, like, you know how most serial killers, they get started on their journey and they usually fuck with dead animals and stuff.
Yeah.
They cut up stuff when they're younger, or they'll torture animals and stuff. That's usually how serial killers start. That's how what I assumed that to mean.
I know,
Mark
but is it
assumed they were eating it.
true?
Well, just because he
Megan-
finds them frozen.
Well, yeah. I mean, I imagine he probably was eating them.
Aye, but he probably, probably how he
Bit
does
random how they're just running around the place, though, with a lot of guns lying about.
I
Fair
thought
enough.
it was to try and kind of say that nobody was living there anymore.
But he was living there, because he came in and
I know,
then
but
he
I
took
know
off.
he did pull up and stuff, but I just thought it was maybe for, like, I don't know, distracting
Because it
from
did
that.
look a mess, didn't it?
I did.
Oh, I mean, the house
aye.
is horrendous. But I mean, after, like, obviously they're in doing their kind of research in the place, and just as they're kind of leaving, Megan, you want to give us the next
Well, he
bit?
pulls up and he's in his pants. I think he thinks they're shorts, but they're definitely pants.
There was
They're
a boy,
tiny.
There was a boy in my year and said, "Do you remember if you forgot your PE stuff?
You had to do it in your pants.
No. You had to do it. You had to go and get stuff for the spare room." And a boy in our class called John basically said, "Nah, these are shorts." And we're like, "No, we can see the buttons. They're your boxers." He's like, "Nah, they're short." So I went and
Oh,
played
no.
hockey.
In his
Willie
pants.
Willie just kept flopping out the middle. But he was convinced they were shorts.
I'm
you know.
pretty sure when I was in primary school, you just had to do it in your pants, like. If you'd forgot your gym kit.
Who was your PE teacher, Arthur Lee Allen?
It's starting to sound a bit creepier now that I think about it, like.
Do you know what I mean?
Luckily, I don't think I ever forgot mine. At least I'm bloody hoping I didn't.
No, if we forgot ours, we just had to do it in our uniform.
Nah, we used
Yeah,
to
but
get
Megan,
something
you're quite a bit younger than us. They'd probably rounded up all the pedos by then.
Is that just
Jesus.
We definitely just done it in our uniform.
I'm sure they just used to give us, like, lost property stuff.
What do you mean there was like 6 of you at your school?
No, I mean in high school. You don't mean in high school?
Aye, high school.
Yeah, well, I mean in high school.
Alright, I was going to say, what? I mean, they probably wouldn't have get. Do you want to go outside and play rounders today, class? Well, there's only 3 of us, so.
Get lost. There was like 8 in my class.
There's only 3 of us, we might as well just play piggy in the middle.
But then basically the day, nothing, neither hand they're saying is matching.
I'm not being funny. See if someone came at me and said, right, we think you could be this killer. We're going to see if your handwriting matches. I would be writing like the shittest writing ever.
They're also getting matches from, things he's wrote in the past as well. They get warrant for what's he wrote in his driving licence, what's he done in this journal. It's not just right in front of us, but nothing's matching. But the thing is, he could be doing.
But then your handwriting does change over time as well. That's the other thing you've got to remember.
They
I don't
allude-
write. When I left school, my writing is very different to what it is now.
But
Do you know what I mean?
The thing is, did they allude that the guy doing the handwriting technique in this later on in the film? They do say this guy that drinks like this much a day now and
Aye.
can't be bothered. And his lesson, the guy he trained basically goes,
He's
don't
apprentice.
count him out. There's a bit that matches in this.
Yeah.
But the case starts the way high on Tochi, the policeman, and he can't sit through the film Dirty Harry, which is loosely based on the Zodiac, and Clint Eastwood is loosely based on him, and he can't sit it. And this is where he first meets Robert. Robert introduces him and goes, "You're gonna catch him," and he's like, "Yeah, sure." He's Finn. He's a real super cop though in real life. He'd cracked a lot of cases, but this really weighed in him. But Avery's moved to the Sacramento Bee, which is the lower inn. Robert then contacts Toshi to get more information, and they get more interest in the case. Robert visits Paul. Robert's now obsessed with the case. Paul's a fucking mess. He's living in like a boathouse, just watching the Pong menu play.
Brilliant.
Absolutely great. But he offers him vodka, but he wants nothing to do with this now.
He offers him vodka, gives him a little glass, whereas he just sugs at the ball.
A real man.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. He says that Robert says somebody should write a book, and he basically goes, all the information I've got on him is gone. I write about today, I write about the news, you write the book. So he decides he's going to write a book. And
that's kind of the last you see of him, isn't it?
There's one bit later on where he's watching the news after he completes a cipher, and he goes, fucking library. But he basically works at his paper and guns off the real eye. That's it.
But Robert
Robert and Toshi begin to work together Toshi can't really work well, but he gives him little info. You should go and see so and so. You should see.
He's
so
like, aye. It's like, oh, you shouldn't. I can't tell you anything about that, and you definitely shouldn't go see this guy.
Yeah, it's great. I love that. Darlene apparently, first victim was followed. You know, apparently they say that Darlene knew Zodiac and vice versa. And then after the killing, 90 minutes after the kill, there was calls to the police, obviously. But what they didn't follow up on was there was calls to Darlene House, the father and brother-in-law, and it was just heavy breathing. So it was as if Zodiac really knew that, oh, fucking
That was
hell.
actually really creepy.
Aye. Megan's starting to worry now. She thinks,
did, I was
imagine
like-
the twist. Imagine the views and the downloads if
The
it
end
turned
of this,
out.
if it turned out I was the Zodiac.
That's great.
That actually gave me a fright.
Well, we got to 7.
See if I get questioned after this. I'm gonna be furious.
You're a bit young.
Well,
Moisturisers
time
a
he's
hell of a
heard
thing.
cocaine's a hell of a drug.
It's Charlie Murphy, where would they fit in this one?
Ah, definitely.
Black cop somewhere. I'd
He
love
could have
it.
been the first suspect.
Yo, man, I didn't do shit. Let him off.
Have him off.
Robert basically visits Melvin about the Zodiac, and he's waiting for 2 hours, and his housekeeper is talking to, actually spoke to Zodiac on the phone, and this is where she says, oh, he told me I had to kill because it was his birthday. And Robert comes to the conclusion, well, it was before he went on safari around Christmas, it must be the 18th onwards. He goes, I think it's the 18th. If this is his birthday, maybe he's been weak and he's let himself go. Robert gets more distant from Mel and his kids. Mel's worried he's put in the... Mel. Listen, I'm getting right familiar with him
I
now.
know, first name terms.
When you watch this film 3 times, God, you get familiar. And all the bloody research.
To be fair, that's a good, what, almost 9 hours of your life?
That's not including the documentaries and the book.
Exactly.
I read 2
This is
thirds
just
of the
the
book again.
See, this is where I'm struggling with this because I want to get into like the actual killings. I'm basing this in the film.
We'll do that
I'm
later.
trying to just keep this in the film.
Well, maybe do that later on. I
think we need a break after this.
I'm a mess.
Plus,
I'm a
to be
mess.
fair, after this, I think the women want to pick a film.
Aye.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. I've got an easier.
Megan is
I've got
pouring
an
a drink, so she can't talk right now.
She's-
Megan needs
back.
more wine.
She was getting her wine. I've got an easier serial kill after this that would be good today if you wanted to do another one.
Who's that? Just out of curiosity.
The original Night Stalker.
Ah,
How cool is that?
that'd be cool.
Another one they've never found.
I don't think that's anything to do with a women's film right now.
No. That's a separate.
Oh no, this is just your.
Use what I do. P.S. I love you. That's fine. Gerald Butler. Then what does he sing again? Yeah, cheap Aussie faggot. I mean that Christmas song.
Gerard
Fairy tale.
Butler.
Fairy tale in New York.
I don't think he sings that in
It's
that
the
film.
Pogues.
Yeah, he does. He sings the Pogues. Yeah, cheap lousy faggot. I always, when I was a wee boy, I thought they said cheap Aussie faggot, but it's not. Is it lousy?
Lousy, aye.
You know they don't edit that on Radio 1 and 2 and that.
Why would you?
No, but like, so every other song's not right, and they actually did edit it out in like 2007, and folk complained.
I think I remember that year they did edit it out, and I was like, why have they edited that out?
Aye.
That's
And
pathetic.
It is, but to me, fuck, if you're gonna let that go,
Best Christmas song ever.
aye, just edit
Do
me
you
or
think?
Do you not?
I
No.
love it.
That's
What's
a
your
great Christmas.
favourite?
What's your favourite like?
I'd probably say like
Don't Let the
Mariah
Bells
Carey.
End. Oh,
All
no,
I Want
it's
for
pish.
Christmas.
oh, Mariah.
Wailing
Really?
bitch.
No, Mariah Carey's. I'm a big
Oh, I
fan.
do
of
like
that.
that's
that.
His. That's
What's-
his favourite song.
what was
Wailing
it?
slut.
I don't
Mariah
think
Carey.
I don't think of the Pogues as a Christmas song though. It's just a song that's around at Christmas.
True. Nah, the bells are ringing out for Christmas Day. It's a Christmas song.
Or Last Christmas.
No.
Oh, I never thought about that.
Of course, it's a Christmas song.
And the bells are ringing. I never thought. Oh fuck! Of course it is. Oh, I
Mark
just,
looks like he's just had an epiphany there.
How
my
did you
brain.
not know that?
My brain's full of Zodiac knowledge. I forgot things. I don't know who I am anymore. Who are you?
What year is it?
Fact does he care what month it is when he's got a Christmas top on anyway?
Oh God!
He's ready.
The march. Jingle bells. Batman smells Robin laid an egg.
Well, we power through. We're nearly there. How many pages have we got left to go?
Oh, not many. No, we're getting there now. I just need to find my bloody place again.
Christmas.
Melanie's worried that he's putting the family in danger. Robert then gets a call that the Zodiac has filmed his kills, and he says he's to meet a friend of Zodiac who has film of these kills, and he says the Zodiac is Rick Marshall, and he says the Zodiac's actually a big film buff, and his name's Rick Marshall. Robert then starts to get calls of heavy breathing. Take it away, Scott.
Oh, that's a different one this time.
That's more grumpy and gravelly.
That's what I did the last time, I think.
Yeah. Rick Marshall's handwriting was not cleared, and at all. So he's a big. Some folk. He speaks to another detective who goes, "You just name a number one suspect." Mm-hmm. Wallace Penny, who said it was Rick, arranges him to meet Robert. He gives him the name. Robert goes to his house, and the handwriting is the closest yet. Basically goes, "This is the closest yin I've seen."
Aye.
Aye. It basically says, "This is as close as
This
you'll
is
get."
the handwriting analyst, sorry.
Mm-hmm. 1978, a new letter. David is mentioned in the letter, but he's later accused of writing the letters as a ploy to bring the real killer out because he's been silent for so long.
Which he was, in real life, he was cleared of, I think.
Not until 1999 or
1989,
I think.
Actually, but he was cleared of it eventually.
He was eventually cleared, but they said it was maybe somebody else at the paper that just mentioned him.
Yeah.
It's believed it's not the Zodiac.
No.
But you never know. But he's kicked out of homicide, basically. So Super Cop's kicked out, basically.
It kind of cost him his job, really, didn't it?
After 12 years. Robert, then, you see Robert, now in the book, he gives, at the end, he gives confirmed and suspected, and he comes to the 37, but you can see him doing this with his kids. He's basically gone through other folk that were murdered and trying to piece it, it could be this guy, The book, it gives you first. There's no way. It's just, and he admits that himself, he's like, this is just who I think it probably could be, if he's talking about them, but a lot of these have already been pinned to other folk. Robert then appears in the news talking about how he's actually he deciphered one of these ciphers. They never go right into this, but Melanie's mad and leaves with the kids.
Don't call.
Mm-hmm. So he's got the whole flat in his stay cell to put his wee things on the wall and his wee lights
to go full loco. Just brilliant.
He's like Charlie in that Sunny. Carol.
Trying to sort out the mail.
I'm dying to talk about the mail, Scott. Can we talk about the mail? So basically, after that, Robert finds out there's Linda, who was a friend of one of the lasses killed, and she knows who the killer is, but she's in prison. Robert then meets Bob Vaughn, and instead of meeting at the coffee shop, they meet at his house. Robert shows... he then shows Robert the Zodiac symbol in the film reels. He then left... Rick apparently... knew him, but he's not seen him in years. Rick left a canister of film that he said never open, but he took it back in 1972, so it's not there.
Aye.
Turns out Robert, he said, well, these posters are the closest that they've got.
This is where he drops the bombshell.
I wrote those.
Yeah.
Creepy. So he starts getting creeped.
This was a creepy bit, actually.
Was pretty creepy.
Yeah, it was.
The thing is, as well, Hayley asked if this actually happened. Now, this is only one account. We don't know if this actually happened, but he says it did.
It's spruced up a bit more than the book, but
I imagine it would be, because
he does say he was terrified. He says, like,
you would be, though.
Oh, aye.
I mean, he'd locked the door when you went in.
Aye. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, he then says, I've got the original reels, do you want to see? He goes into the basement.
Which you do not follow.
Robert's convinced, he says in the book as well, he's convinced he can hear somebody upstairs, and he assures him, no, it's just us in the house. But he's thinking, is somebody coming down this stair? Mm-hmm. Is it him? Is it Rick Marshall? Is it this guy? A million things come through his head, and talk about the film. And then he says, no, I don't need any more information, runs upstairs. And I like the use of the mirror. You see him at the door, and the door's locked, and there's a mirror, and you see him just arrive behind.
Aye.
But he just opens the door and lets him go, and he goes, good night, Robert.
And he runs to the car.
You would. I was running on the spot. I've seen this film a few times.
This is like that thing when you said you hold your breath. I bet your breath was held the whole time.
Oh, God, aye. But basically, so Robert's looking through everything now, getting all the information he can. It turns out he then visits Linda in prison, and Linda was at Darlene's party, and she said there was one guy who was weird, but Darlene thought he was alright. He would come in a full suit and just sit and not talk to anybody. He was creepy as out. He bought her presents and told her that he had killed someone before. A couple of weeks later she was dead, and he goes, it was Rick Marshall, and he goes, it's not Rick Marshall. He starts walking away. She remembers the name Lee. And Arthur Lee Allen likes to be called Lee. He didn't like the...
No one calls him Arthur.
So then he's gone, it's Lee. So he checks the files out. Arthur knew Darlene. The police won't follow up. Fingerprints don't match. No, not interested. They're not interested anymore. And the thing is with this fingerprint, what they're going back to is, again, it might not be his fingerprint.
Is this not the bit that they go to the bit where he works now?
No, this was
that
earlier
was
on. The
before.
interview did them well early on. That was before they went to his trailer.
Come on, Hayley, give up, man.
No, but there is though. Like you don't. No. Wait.
That's
It's
when we were
like in a
talking about the
superma-
Zodiac symbol and the watch and stuff.
No. He goes to the supermarket.
Oh no, that's still to come. No, sorry.
Come on.
He goes to a supermarket.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
Megan,
we'll
you
get
must
to
have
that,
fell.
Megan.
You fell asleep then.
You slept for this. We'll get there.
I didn't remember a supermarket.
Megan.
Well, I just remember the Lee.
I
at the
remember
back.
that. Two controllers. Aye,
Yep.
great.
Right, okay.
My
Sorry,
palms
sorry,
are
Mark.
sweaty. Wee's arms are heavy. Right? Come on. I need
spaghetti.
this out of my life. Oh, mommy spaghetti. Oh, God.
Right.
Robert keeps receiving heavy breathing phone calls. Oh God, yeah, that's sensual. I find that quite sensual.
It's just my sex noise.
Aye. He gets sent Arthur's driving license from around the time, and he goes to see David. Arthur's birthday is December 18th, the same as the call to the housekeeper.
Mm-hmm.
Down, down, down.
It's all falling into place.
Aye. Arthur wrote to David offering to help, as most killers do, as we've discussed, and he was the only one out of 2,500 that did this. And he wrote to him after he got back out of prison. 'Cause he's been back in.
Coincidence.
He's been back in since then.
The thing is, as well, that was why they thought he'd been silent, because he'd been in prison. Like, obviously, he was silent for 4 years, I think.
Yeah.
He was in prison for 4
Yeah,
years.
nothing happened. No
Nothing
killings.
happened. There was nothing.
Yep. And he knew Darlene, and he cleared out his trailer after the police interview, so that's maybe why they didn't find anything
Well,
incriminating.
yeah,
They never received any more bloody parts of the shirt. Why? Because he's got rid of the evidence.
he got freaked out. That was him.
Yep, in another state. Later stop and start when he's in prison. And Darlene worked next door to Arthur's mum's house where he lived in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
Like 50 yards, basically. 50 feet, sorry, that's what they're saying.
Aye.
Robert then goes to the supermarket.
Sorry,
Hayley's
Mark.
called it. No, you called
I
it!
know what you mean. It's
Aye.
like a hardware store.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
like,
sorry, I thought
It's
it was
not
a
a
supermarket.
supermarket.
I
It's no
don't know.
Tesco.
There was food there. And
No, there wasn't. It's all hardware stuff.
I'm going to have to
fine.
watch that bit again.
Right, okay.
Get it on.
Dun, 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 dun. Right, Robert, he said to Melanie before, I need to look it in the eye and know it's the guy. That's what he needs to do. So he goes to the store and he goes to Arthur. Arthur goes, can I help? And he goes, no. And he just stares at him, and Arthur's face then gets stormy and he looks at him. We then fast forward to 1991. You see Robert's book. It's a bestseller. You know, it came out in 1986. It's a bestseller. I own it. I sent you a picture earlier, Scott. How tattered is this book?
Pretty tired.
He's pretty bad.
We compared it to an old wank mag.
You said you had gins that were in better nick.
Might have said that, yeah.
Yeah, might have. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
That's just locker room talk, as Trump would say. Jesus Christ. Mike Magial, who was at the start of the film, who's older now, who survived the attack, the guy who didn't want to go back.
Who played him in that film? What has he been in? Because that was annoying the crap out of me the other night.
Always Sunny, the McBoyle brothers.
That's where he was. God damn, that's been annoying me.
I'm surprised they didn't.
I'm so happy now that I know who that was.
Do you need anything else? How about a glass of milk?
Oh, that has actually been driving me mental. I was thinking that the whole way through that, I was like, who the fuck is he and what has he been in?
Are you glad I had this prepared?
Yes. Thank
See,
God.
I'm your guy. I can get you through this. I feel better now.
I feel better now.
I actually feel better that I did some good with this, because I've literally caused my body harm over the last 3 days. But anyway, he's now older and he's with Postman, and he gets a lineup of faces, and he fingers Arthur Lee Allen. Sorry, he
fingers him.
Yeah, he fingers out a lineup, and he goes of his driving license, and he goes, I'm 8 out of 10% sure. And basically,
Megan's laughing at you saying 8 out of 10%.
oh, for fuck's sake! No, that's wrong, isn't it?
80%.
Yeah, 80%.
I knew what you meant, Mark.
My brain's fried.
I'd have let you
folks.
go. I'd have let it go, mate. But
No. Call,
10%.
call me on this. Megan, are you not going to use a fact? Or are you
I
waiting
know.
to the end?
I've got 5 bullet points. One she's given us.
I know, but I've not been paying much attention. So
We'll get them at the end. We'll get them at the end.
Really good away
Megan better shine at the end of this. Like, tell you
I
what,
will.
she's not being asked back on.
I will shine.
Later, this is basically where it ends, and then you get points in a film. In custody, Arthur Lee Allen is taken back in, but before they can do any more, really, he dies of a heart attack because he's a fat old prick, basically. David has just died in January, basically, but he helped out a lot in this film. He was there talking them through it as well, and he might not have solved this case, but he's a proper super cop. I mean, like, you know, Clint Eastwood and Steve McQueen based their characters off this guy, you know, and it was cleared of writing that letter eventually. Paul died of lung disease in 2000. And you do see him in the scene later on where he's got the breathing apparatus.
Yeah, sitting at the pub.
Aye, with a fag though.
Oh yeah.
Again, probably cig a weed. And Robert, who wrote the book that this is based on, has written other books. He's written one about Unabomber and Jack the Ripper, and there's a second one, Zodiac Unmasked. I think it's called for 2002, which I've never read, to be fair. I don't know how good it is, but there are elements of things taken that he said later on that they've spliced in here. And it says he's got a good relationship with his kids. Page is done.
9 pages.
Thank God for that.
Did I bore you?
No, but I was just reliving that film.
Facts, Megan, facts. We need
Right.
facts. Give us facts.
Right.
Mark, I'm gonna give props to Mark for doing a lot of work on that one.
Well done, Mark.
You done
'Cause
well.
I kind of
Thanks.
half-assed that one, to be honest.
I might get you to read it now because you've got a better voice than me. I sound like I've been sucking helium for 18 years.
I think you did good, Mark.
Thanks, man. Right, Megan.
pages.
It was a
Back
long. It was a long film. We done it over 3 nights, so we were going to watch it last night, and Scott was far too tired.
Oh man, I felt awful.
Can we
last
do
night.
an episode of like Bottom or something next?
Yes. I think we need to do something funny after this, something light-hearted, or let them pick a film and then we'll just rip it to pieces.
Nah,
See,
Exactly.
you know you're going to
How
do
come we
that.
didn't get something fun?
Of course we're going to do that. You can pick another film after this.
No,
Like all your other guests had really funny things, and then we get stuck with this.
Right, Megan, what film would you like to watch?
Well, I don't know.
See?
Something funny though, or something like girly, because you just do loads of man
but
shit.
You know you're going to be ripping them out.
Yeah, well, you know we're going to do that anyway.
I don't know why you
That's
think
not
that.
fair.
Some girl films are alright. P.S. I Love You is quite entertaining.
Penis, I love you.
Yep, that one too.
I don't think that's the right film, Mark.
Scott, you're wishing, mate. You're wishing.
I don't know. What do you think, Hayley?
Oh, I don't know. I really don't know.
Look up and see if there's a porno like based
I
off
think-
that
There's
film.
got to be, and if there's
I
not, we're
think
making one.
I think
We'll get to
somebody-
Carlisle. You what? You think what?
Well, some people might want to like say, "Oh, do this film like for a girly film or whatever." I don't know. Like the
So,
fans, you know.
If you care.
Maybe your troll will give us one.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, Big J Peep Peep can give us a shout.
If
Yeah,
he
but it
does,
has
we'll
to be
do
like
it.
a girl one.
I definitely would.
Pick a girl one. We're not going to rip it to shreds. We'll look at it
Aye,
objectively.
but I'll go and hame the night and I'll Google like the most girliest films.
To be
going.
fair, there's a lot of films we've done that I like that I've ripped to shreds though. So
Aye, 1340, our friend James can't listen to the podcast because he's fear.
He
He
thinks
can't
I'm gonna-
handle it.
The
The
thing
fact
is-
that you might diss it.
I don't think I did diss it that much.
No, but he can't take one criticism. He
I
loves
point-
it too much.
I point out the things that are stupid. I still like the film.
It's a cornerstone of mine and his friendship, and our pal Michael. So they're struggling. They're like, I'm not having a go at him. I can't take any criticism to this film. Megan,
He's
give us
maybe
a
Big
fact.
J Peep Peep.
Oh no, I'll kill him.
Oh man, mystery solved.
He's
Mark.
stressed, Mark.
Mark's just broke the mic stand.
Have a
Telf, facts.
Well, my facts have kind of been covered by Mark because he just kept going.
oh, give us.
You know what I mean? So it was only proven that 5 people were actually killed by the Zodiac.
Mhm.
However, he claimed he killed 37.
Mm-hmm.
Only 2 men survived the attacks.
Mm-hmm.
And then a lot of people believe that the Unabomber is actually Zodiac,
Mhm.
which is a load of shite.
If we do, well, some folk really strongly believe it. If we do
There's no
a
way.
follow up about the case, I think we're planning to do it next. I need a break.
I don't think we could do it next.
I'm so tired.
It's quite intense, like.
I love this, but I love it too much.
But it's like, aye.
The thing is, they don't
I think we
know
need something
enemy.
light-hearted.
No, but there's a lot. There are cases to these. A few other people. There's some mad fucking things that you can get into, and some of it's hilarious. But I need a break.
I just found this film was basically like they said who it was anyway. Like,
Well, yeah, of course it is. One point of view.
Exactly, but I want to see it for the killer's point of view.
well, he's
That's
dead.
because you're twisted.
No.
There are
You just want a POV video of murder. You want a downloadable snuff video.
I just like to see folk getting hurt.
Really?
What?
It's just like this, I don't know. I like to see like mental people, like what goes through their mind. Like you never
You're
watch the things
mental.
on like documentaries,
Like
like How to
making
Get Away with Murder.
Aye, making a murderer and stuff like that. This is what we watch tomorrow.
I'm slightly more
We
scared of
spent a
Megan
whole
now.
Sunday watching stuff like How to Get Away with Murder.
All right.
Do you not watch stuff like that?
Nah.
Just me and you, Mark.
The creepy couples in town.
I find stuff like that really interesting. I like to see what their minds like going through.
Nah, I like listening to serial killer stuff and that.
Yeah.
Like the Unabomber one.
I don't
we
want to
watched was
actually see it
amazing.
happen though.
Yeah.
I just found that the start bit when he was killing, I found that quite kind of scary, just because you think, God, that was actually real.
That
Like,
happened, exactly.
That
That's
happened.
I think that's
Like,
what
that
freaks
could-
you out more. You know when you watch like a horror film and stuff, and it's like just utter violence, and it's like Saw and stuff to a point. It's like it's not. You're like
nonsense.
desensitized to it, but that actually happened.
Yeah, these were folk in somebody's family.
Do you know what I mean? You know, Saw's fake. That
Uh-huh.
actually happened.
What, you mean the wee guy in the unit, the tricycle? I want to play a game.
The puppet.
He was fake.
Aye.
Well, the first few Saws are decent.
Yeah, no,
and then you get a
I'm
bit
not saying
stupid.
that like Saw was alright, but what I'm saying is it didn't. It's not real.
No, but you know this actually
This happened.
I mean, imagine coming out of hell in that badass motherfucker in the executioner's hood and everything.
Imagine you were trying to get your hole at the side of a lake, and then that happened.
I could
Should've
still
went
film a
Carlisle.
softie again.
Just it's nuts.
Aye. But
Anyway,
do we know what we're doing next, or just didn't say Zodiac? I need time off.
so we need a break from Zodiac, so it'll be something different.
I want to get it done. I want to get into the case, but I think I can't do it. I need to do something for 8 that's not Zodiac in between.
I'm on call next week anyway, so
Oh, right.
chances of us getting one done
I
might be
don't know
slim.
how you can do any more on it though. Surely the film covers it all.
Well, it's only one point of view though. There's 2 or 3 mere suspects that possibly
We've not even
could
went
have
into.
done it.
This has been quite a serious episode, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can't
Very
really joke.
serious.
Can't really joke about serial killers.
You can joke about
To a
anything,
point.
but it's not as jokingly as Hot Rod, is it?
Nah,
You know.
there's not as many.
Exactly, we've been stitched up.
Well, pick something.
Pick a film.
We're quite funny people, and we've been stitched up with this shit.
We're gonna do like the Aristocrats or something, aren't we?
Oh, I like a Disney film.
Oh, I can find holes in Disney films too.
They're awfully sexual, aren't they?
You know that lion that can talk? Aye.
That's probably that wasn't even where I was going. I meant like Pinocchio and the likes.
Oh, there's a lot of paedophile tendencies in that.
I mean,
film,
we
is
spoke
there
about
not?
paedophiles tonight, so why not Pinocchio next?
Jesus, you know, Pinocchio, you can lie if you want to.
So Mark looks pretty tired.
He does.
I'm glad it's done for now, because I did spend 4 hours a day getting the last bits done, and Christ, I'm just glad it's done for the new. I can come back to it happily, but I need it to be done for now.
So on that, are we calling it a day?
Are you happy to?
I'm happy to call it a day if you are.
Thank Christ. Right, I've enjoyed it though. Thank you to the ladies.
You've not done any reviews. Like,
Oh, what our final review?
Yeah,
What are you giving it out of?
Well, we're not getting this golden turds, are we? Is it just?
I don't think it's a third of a film. I
No.
just think it was.
Well, the
big
aliens
golden turds.
the aliens we've done, folk have said it's either critics or fans. It's basically universally good. This basically.
This is a good film. Yeah,
to
I
a
enjoyed
point.
it.
So just do it a 5 stars. Huh? What do you
What
think?
are you giving it?
Stars. Oh, yeah. For what it is, maybe 4 1/4.
I'm going 4.5.
Ah, good.
Aye, I enjoyed it.
I think I've seen it a few times, so I think it's maybe went down just maybe a wee bit. Right,
Aye.
ladies, lay it on.
What's your reviews?
Oh, like 3.
That's acceptable. I would
It's
say.
a good film to nap to.
Right, there you go.
You're all about the napping.
I love a nap.
Could you imagine this review in the paper? It'd be great.
How was the film? 3 out of 5. Brilliant sleep.
No, I mean, because we've done it over a few days, I think maybe 4. I mean, it was quite interesting, but I mean, I don't know much about it. Whereas you have like watched a lot and listened to a lot about it, whereas I've not listened to anything. So, but I think they did kind of just say, "Oh, that it was that guy," and that was it.
Well, they gave you the option of 2, but
Well, it did, but at the end, it kind of just basically.
I
Well,
basically said it was him.
to be fair, the opinion of the film is the opinion I agree with. I think it was Arthur Lee Allen,
I'd
personally.
say Jamie said the same. Me and Jamie spoke about it at the wedding, and Jamie
Yeah.
says, I think it's just open and shut. I don't think it's
I don't think it's open and shut,
but
I think there's plenty of possibilities, but I think it's the fuck-ups that make you think, oh, it could have been this guy, though. Do you know what I mean? It was like the police incompetency and the kind of, well, not incompetency, that's not the right word, but like
he made a lot of wrong
the
choices.
lack of sharing of information and stuff like that. I think that is where they fell down. I think nowadays he wouldn't have got away with it, personally.
No, it's really. I mean, there's only a handful of like unidentified serial killers that have started lately. You know, like in the last 10 years that
Yeah.
haven't been caught.
So
But I'd do more about just serial. It's different though because we're doing a film and we're trying not to.
that's the thing. I
divulge
found it hard this time. Like I know I've like you've took the lead bit, but there's like I'd rather talk about the real killings, if you know what I mean, and throw in other bits in, but that wasn't in the film, so it's like hard not to.
We can
you
do
know
it
what I mean?
well down the line.
Oh,
I've got
yeah,
so
yeah.
much to say.
Aye, I know that's what I'm saying, but it's been difficult to like separate the two, if you know what I mean.
I feel I have moved closer to my coffin doing this, but I've enjoyed it. I think I've took 2 weeks off, but at the end of the day, it's like Chubby Brown says, it's your last 2. Why would you care? Your teeth
True.
are yellow, you're in a home pissing yourself. Who cares?
True.
I want to know what JJ thinks about it.
I don't think JJ will like this one.
Has he been desensitised?
Do you think?
Maybe.
I don't think he will. I mean, if he didn't enjoy the last one that I thought was quite good,
JJ, comments in the bottom of YouTube, please.
Big JJ, this one was for you.
And we're on iTunes and YouTube, aren't we?
We're on iTunes, YouTube. It would be nice if you would subscribe, like, and give us a review on iTunes and stuff, and on YouTube.
To everybody, you mean?
Yeah, anyone, not just Big J. He'll give us 1 star. I'd rather he didn't review us, to be honest.
I do what you want. Just hope you enjoy. Hope I've not been too dreich, as they say in Scotland, which is dire. Kieran Dyer. Right, I'm fried. Are we good?
Calling it a day.
We'll discuss. We'll discuss
We'll
later.
surprise you with what we're doing next.
Also on Twitter, by the way, at the Downturn
I
podcast.
don't have Twitter yet.
But I organised that. That's my part. 24 followers, I think.
24.
It's pretty good.
We've
isn't
had up 5. Is Big J Peep one of them?
I really hope so.
I doubt
You're
it.
going to have to search it now.
I really hope so. He might have a different name on that. Zodiac 01.
Big J Pip Pip.
Pipping away!
Right.
Thanks. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you, ladies.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having us.
And hopefully, if you come on again, we'll do something. You can both pick something nice and girly for us. I could do with a bit of light-heartedness.
Aye.
Can. Just don't pick The Notebook.
Never seen it.
Oh,
Or have I?
Jesus.
No, I don't think
No.
you have, actually.
All woman, man have dementia. and-
Oh.
Oh, I have seen that.
Yeah.
God damn.
Streak.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna make you watch one that make me cry.
P.S. I Love You is better.
See
You
if
get
I-
Gerard Butler singing. 10 on 10.
Nice.
If anybody's got suggestions, though, like,
What, rubbish films?
yeah.
I prefer shit
Sam
films.
gave a good suggestion. It's not rubbish, but it's Battle Royale.
Well, Sam can come on for that one then.
Hell of it's a good fit. If you've never seen that, it's basically your Hunger Games is kind of similar to it, but it's a lot more.
Aye, but if Sam suggested it, you can come. come
but
on for
that's the plan.
it. Do you know what I mean? If the
Tad the
guys
boys.
suggest something, they can come fire on. That's what Matt did.
Mm-hmm.
Sexy voice Matt, according to Megan.
Megan,
Oh my God.
Megan liked her
Shout out
sultry
to
tones.
Matt, liked his.
And then you hear my voice and you're like, well, Christ, if she's been with that for 2 and a bit year, Jesus Christ, I can see why.
Oh well, hashtag bring Matt back.
I think they'll all be back. We've
Right.
still got 3 boys to bring on eventually when they decide what they want to do. Well, Andrew knows what he wants to do, but we'll keep that secret, won't we? That might be a wee milestone.
That's the big
show.
one.
That's the be all to end all.
Right.
Right, thank you.
Cheers. See you later.
Bye.